timekeepers at the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns, Jane Broadfoot, Al Bisick, and Mike Lasella. Introducing to you the judges scoring this bout from ringside, Chuck Jampa, Barbara Pettis, and Tamotsu Tomihara. All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening, the Burden of Proof. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, it's showtime! With the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World, 12 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you the referee in charge of the bout, working in this his 110th world title bout, Richard Steele. Introducing to you first, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger. On my right, he is fighting out of the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing white trunks with red trim and fighting out of Easton, Pennsylvania. He weighed in at a ready 236 pounds, and his record includes 61 wins, only 4 losses, with 40 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the legendary former heavyweight champion who defended his crown 19 times, currently ranked the WBC number 8 contender, introducing the one and only Easton assassin, Larry Holmes. And his opponent across the ring, the defending world champion on my left, fighting out of the red corner. He enters the ring ready to fight, wearing black trunks with red trim, hailing from Chicago, Illinois. His weight, 231 pounds, with a record of 25 wins and 5 losses. He has 18 wins coming by way of knockout. And tonight, he is making the first defense of his title. Please welcome the newly crowned WBC Heavyweight Champion of the World, known as the Atomic Bull, introducing Oliver McCall. Once again, here's your referee in charge, now to give instructions, Richard Steele.
All right, I spoke to both fighters in the dressing room. I'm cautioning again, obey my commands at all times. I want a good, clean fight. In case of a knockdown and you're standing, you go to the neutral corner. Remain in the corner until I tell you to come out. Shake hands and good luck.
Moment of truth, fellas. That's it.
McCall looking angry. Holmes very loose. Let's check the weather conditions for our main event. It is very clear and pleasant and comfortable. 69 degrees, a slight breeze, humidity 20% here at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada, as we get set for the WBC Heavyweight Championship. Oliver McCall, he has paid his dues. Larry Holmes, in his heyday, a brilliant boxer, the master of the jab. The question now, does he still have the speed and force behind the jab? Here we go. Round 1 scheduled for 12 for the title. Can Larry Holmes take Oliver McCall to school? Cannot get into a punching contest as he goes right at McCall with the right hand.
And his jab, which has always been his best feature. He's come up popping that jab hard, and we expected that.
Don't hold him. Great.
Oliver's going to look to crowd him, rough him up, and do some things that any young, strong man would do to an older man. But Larry's going to look to take him to school and use that jab. He was talking to him as they stared down at the referee's instructions.
McCall paying no attention to Holmes. Question is, which McCall will show up tonight? The fighter who goes on a seek and destroy mission, or the sparring partner, the fighter who lets his opponent dictate the fight?
Well, he is wanting to get out of here early. He is not looking for any mercy here. He's trying to make this fight end quickly, and we just started out, so you can see it's the McCall that likes the battle that we've got tonight.
Larry's going to have to take a little bit of a page out of Ali in his later years. Hit him with the jab on the wing. When you get him, grab you, not let you go until he's ready, and then take that jab with you on the way out.
Larry likes to lay on the ropes.
Holding his hands way low is Larry.
He got nothing for you, baby.
Looking to take McCall out of his game plan. One thing you cannot question, and I think you pointed it out, Ferdy, is Holmes' heart. Midway through the round, opening round, McCall's best weapon, the overhand right. There it is.
Tell you what, there was an even cuter right hand by Larry.
Oh, Larry suckered him in to the right range and drop the right hand perfectly, as a good veteran will do.
Step back,
It didn't seem to affect Oliver, but he sure was a good one. Nice little crisp right hand by Holmes.
Got nothing for you, baby. Natural relax.
McCall, big, strong upper body.
That's right.
Helpful for infighting, especially if Holmes does lay on the ropes.
That's it, baby.
Got a solid chin, McCall. Never KO'd as a pro.
Right now, McCall's not giving any kind of movement. Is just standing right in front of Larry, which is kind of not the way to fight him.
A little bit of a waiting game going on here by both fighters. Right now, Larry getting the better of it.
Right, step back.
You expect Oliver to do a little bit more motion than this. He is almost like perplexed by this jab that's coming out, which is pretty strong right now. Not the great one of the old days, but pretty respectable. Larry's got still that jab.
You know, sometimes what happens with the fighters when they score a one-punch knockout, they start looking for that, and Oliver may very well be looking too much for one shot.
Holmes looking to end it with one punch, missing with the overhand right. Final seconds of the opening round. Both McCall and Holmes appear to be in superb condition as the bell sounds. Well, here at the home of champions, earlier tonight in the ring at Caesar's Palace, this is one for the books. A shot for all ages. Sugar Ray Leonard on the right of your screen. Tommy Hearns in the middle. Marvelous Marvin Hagler on the left. What a scene.
And that is a sufficiency of riches. Those were the guys that made it all during the 70s and 80s.
No, I have to get that first one out. Okay, now you got it over your chin. Now do me a favor. Go out there and jab this guy to death. You see, when you're jabbing, he can't get his right hand on. I noticed. Now, but you got to double up on your jab. Jab two, jab three. Sets of two. 1, 2.
You the man.
There we go. Here we go. Go get him. You the man, big guy. Be the boss.
Both fighters in the first round looking to end it on one punch. Not much style in evidence. And George Benton says, go to the jab to Oliver McCall. Let's see some boxing.
That's odd. Benton's working in 2 quarters and 2 championship fights, and he's saying the same thing. Use that jab. You don't hit the head, hit the shoulder, hit something.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think Larry really was trying for a one-punch knockout, but what I think he was trying to do was gain that respect he's going to need if he wants to keep Oliver off and keep Oliver respectful.
Well, I think he got his respect because Oliver quit fighting toward the end of that round, just stood in front of him like he had no more ideas. Like, oh, I tried what I came here for, nothing worked. I mean, you know, he's got to get back to his game plan of motion and fast punching and so forth. He hasn't done that. I mean, so in that case, Larry did win that war.
And you wonder if Holmes is a threat to knock out a strong young fighter, but he does still possess a crisp left-right combination. He has the big reach. He is in good shape, as mentioned. He tries to set a comfortable pace for himself, knows how to conserve energy. His chin has become vulnerable.
There you go.
Right now, Larry's boxing nice and he's getting the better of it, but, you know, Oliver's got a long fight ahead of him. You got 12 rounds, we're only in the second round, so we'll see where the youth and strength start to take over.
I think somewhere along the line he's got to get over the idea that he's in there with the great Larry Holmes. I mean, some of that rubs off on you. You see a guy that you saw since you were a kid, you can't believe you're in there with this big guy, and he's big. And Larry's big, and he's smart, and he knows how to box. So it's going to take some time, but Oliver's got to wake up here around the second and third round and start fighting his fight.
McCall, a 2.5 to 1 favorite at fight time.
That's it, baby.
Rugged brawler, solid chin, not a defensive whiz, but should be able to slip Holmes' punches. So far doing it. There's that jab of Holmes.
Oliver's got to crowd Larry a little more if he's going to give himself a chance to start to wear him down. If he lets Larry do this, I'm telling you, 45 or 55, Larry can do that box with that jab all day long.
Yeah, then it becomes whether he can take it at 45 all the way to 12 rounds. Right now he's fighting the kind of fight that Larry wanted to fight.
This, of course, was the round in which McCall ended Lennox Lewis's reign as champion. The second round with a big overhand right. There's a right hand, but Holmes showing some defense, able to stave him off.
Larry's got those big, huge arms, and boy, more than one fighter has gone down trying to figure out how to get through that flailing big arms, bunch of muscles that Larry's got. He's so smart in how to use those arms.
20 seconds. Well, early in his career, he beat Norton, Shavers, Cooney, Weaver. Stopped 38-year-old Muhammad Ali in 1980.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
McCall has never really challenged the best of the division. Took on 3 world champions before or after they were champions. As we head for the bell.
Let him go, Larry.
Hey, look, sit down.
More to little more.
Okay, now listen. He's trying to go over top of the jab, right?
I know.
Deep inhale. So now listen. Jab at his belly, but lean down when you jab at his belly. Listen. Look at me. When you jab at his belly, lean over to lean way down to your right. So you'll be damn near your head will be damn near to his waist, but over on the side. You understand what I'm saying? So don't be jabbing at the head too much. Yeah. Because
You see it, you done opened him up twice. Little more. There you go.
Larry looks like the chairman of the board. He looks like he's at a board meeting. The other guy looks like he's a nervous wreck. He's huffing, he's puffing. I think the nerves are on the part of Oliver McCall. After all, Larry has been here so long, and he's such a veteran. I mean, he's like he's holding a board meeting. But, you know, Oliver's always been a flighty kind of edgy guy. Nice right hand.
You know, Oliver smiled, but he's not doing the right thing right now. He's taking his time too much, and he's not working. He's got to work harder. He's got to forget about Larry's right hand. He's got to start working the body and come inside.
And get away from that right hand. He's circling right into it. But the other thing is that right hand, although it's missing, is changing Oliver's game plan. He's respecting it too much. I mean, Larry's throwing it with all his power. He's missing, but it's really kind of frightening Oliver McCall. It's changing his game plan. And so far, he has not jabbed to the body like he said he was, like his instructions from Georgie Benton. I think that's a very dangerous thing to do when a guy's got a right hand like Holmes has.
This fight has already gone longer than McCall's title victory over a much younger Lennox Lewis.
Don't hold him. Great, step back.
Larry Holmes won't make any of the big mistakes that Lennox Lewis would make at this stage of his career. He's been here before. It's just a matter of now, can he get that body to do what he wants his mind to do?
McCall with the right hand. He predicted a 3rd round knockout. Now going to the ribs.
It was a nice right hand, but it didn't do any real damage. And on the inside, he's holding Oliver pretty good, and Oliver's using a lot of energy. So we'll see what happens.
Holmes finding his way, but staying against the ropes.
I don't remember when I've seen Holmes as crisp and as hard in years. I don't remember in years he's thrown punches this hard.
I talked to Larry yesterday, and as I said, we've been good friends for about 10 years now. He has looked and sounded as well as he ever has with me for the past 5 years.
Holmes doing a little toying, little playing around. McCall takes exception. Holmes says he does feel great. He didn't feel right when he fought Holyfield in '92. Losing decision, undisputed heavyweight title at the time, you'll recall, he threw up in the ring, had problems with his contact. Feels great tonight.
Don't hold it.
You ever wonder why a fighter wears contact lenses in a fight?
Larry uses contact lenses. It still boggles my mind that he could even try that. I know he had problems with it in the Holyfield fight, caused him some problems. I guess his vision is just much more clear, and he likes it that way, because I've never asked him specifically, but that's strange.
Well, Larry's found a home in that corner because he's not getting out. He must think he can outthink him and outfight him in that corner. No motion, standing there, taking these punches.
How smart is this? How intelligent is this against a guy like McCall to lay on the ropes?
Well, if you know what you're doing, like Larry is, uses his elbows so much as he did in the Holyfield fight, hey, this guy is a really cagey man. I mean, he knows boxing. He is a professor.
Let's not forget he's 45 years old, and this is where he can save energy.
Yep.
I know.
He's hit me low, Donald. Tell the ref.
All right.
Come on. Reach in. Give me the mouthpiece. Give me the mouthpiece. Yeah. Put it up on there. Put it up on there. Just put the bucket on the way.
Come on. Come on, baby.
Come on, Larry. You got him in the corner. You feel like
taking 2 looks at this right hand by McCall. Bang. Now that hit pretty good. I mean, that drove Larry into the ropes, and then he stayed in that corner. Let's take another look at it. Bobby,
if you think back and you watch this is kind of similar to what happened when he fought the Englishman, Lennox Lewis. He took off a right, swung with it, turned in, and fired his own. He didn't land this one as cleanly.
You know one thing I'm seeing in McCall that surprises me? He closes his eyes when a punch is coming toward him. I mean, really closes his eyes.
I didn't notice that on the replay.
Now, watch him on the next replays. He's been closing his eyes as a big punch has come. That's not good news.
Round 4 scheduled for 12. Let's see if Holmes takes McCall right back to the ropes. Holmes able to elbow Holyfield, you'll recall, on the ropes in similar fashion. He cut Holyfield. Holmes, when he went back to his corner, he told his trainer, Don Turner, he's hitting me low. Here's a right hand that pushes McCall back.
You know, McCall keeps smiling and he just does a nice walk around. The punches aren't hurting him, but they're getting through and he shouldn't be letting them.
A smacking right by McCall. McCall smothering Holmes again against the ropes, trying to go to the body.
He's turning in some decent body shots, but they're not real clean, not real solid, and he's going to use a lot of energy digging that hard.
And Larry complaining again to the referees, getting hit low. I didn't see that many low blows. I'll tell you the truth, I didn't see any. So, I mean, it's Larry's getting hit, so it must be, but I don't see him.
He mentioned it to his trainer, Don Turner, between rounds.
Larry Holmes knows how to work the referee a little bit.
Yeah, that's part of being a great pro also. I mean, you work the referee, you work everything you can.
Here's a jab followed up by a right that just missed by Holmes. McCall able to sidestep that potential damage.
Now McCall beginning to feel the rhythm of the fight.
Right hand by McCall.
He's been stiff and kind of scary-like, and he is now starting to get in the rhythm. 2, 3 jabs, then followed by a right, then push him into the ropes. He's getting in there. He's getting the idea that he can take this guy, and his attack has been proven better this round.
Richard Steele says, keep it clean. Here's McCall opening up on Holmes.
Once again, Larry's drawing him into the corner. I don't know if he wants that fight there for any particular reason other than he can rest, lean on the ropes, and use them to save energy.
He can sure use his elbows well, too, Bobby. This guy really knows when he's in close. He knows how to use that elbow.
As mentioned, that's what he did against Holyfield, using the elbow, but here comes McCall.
Fight gets very difficult here for Larry being 45, having to deal with the extra strength.
Now McCall takes a step back, takes a big deep breath, and comes right back forward on Larry Holmes.
And he knows Larry's right hand is coming.
10 seconds left of the 4th round.
Right, step back, step back.
And there's the bell. Let's go up to Jim Hill and Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Jim?
All right, Steve, thank you very much. And Marvin, you mentioned a little while ago that at the beginning of the fight, this was a completely different Oliver McCall.
Yeah, I went to the gym there and watched him work out, and he looked terrific. He came in, you see the first, second round, just looking for the knockout. There was no art there at all, and maybe if he's calmed down this next round, he put his punches together.
Are you surprised that Larry is on the ropes as much as he is?
Well, I figured that anyway, that Larry's going to lay on the ropes and hopefully catch him coming in with his right hand. And hoping that I see Oliver look a little amateurish.
A little amateurish?
Yeah, a little amateurish.
What's the reason for that? Could it be the surrounding? Is his first title defense?
Well, this is exactly what I was waiting to see, how he was going to react to his first championship defense. Yeah.
Okay, let's go back down the ringside and Steve Albert. Steve?
All right, Jim and Marvin, thank you very much. Final instructions from George E. Benton. And here we go, round number 5 for the WBC Heavyweight Championship. Oliver McCall in his first defense. We're waiting for Larry Holmes. Here he comes. Holmes doing a lot of blinking. Here's the right hand, overhand right now. He goes to the body, does Holmes. McCall glancing over to Richard Steele.
That's what took him so long. That tape is coming off the glove. Tape is coming off the glove.
Time, go to corner.
So now they got to put another piece of tape over that or cut it off. Let's see what they do. Going to the tape. And the old tape flies right down to the 30's hands. Nice
double left jab, just like the glove. Double left jab.
All right, we're ready to resume here in round number 5.
Larry's come out here for this round as the aggressor, taking an offensive posture, and Oliver seems to be fine letting him do that. He doesn't really want to force the fight, force the action, and meet him midway, making the older man maybe use a little more energy.
Yeah, he doesn't want to mix it up. He doesn't want to exchange with him. He just lets him punch up. He's punching in the air most of the time, but that jab is coming out there pretty good. I didn't think he'd have that much of a jab.
Big right hand, but back comes McCall, countering after the Holmes right.
Keep him up.
Nice body work.
Body is Oliver McCall.
Don't hold him.
That's where it hurts when you're 45 years old.
Pounding to the midsection. Now showboating by Larry Holmes, as if to say, you're not hurting me.
Come on, let's go.
With his hands down by his side, so dangerous.
But McCall shouldn't play that. McCall should come right on in and fight.
I agree.
You know, forget that. Only one guy needs the time, the old man. He doesn't need the time.
This is similar to what Holmes tried to do to Evander Holyfield. And he's trying to make McCall fall into his trap.
Now look at
Again, he looks over.
Oh, that's awful. That's just awful. You can't do that.
I'm not totally sure what's going through Oliver's mind right now. Like I said, I know both these guys pretty well.
Right hand by Larry Holmes.
He keeps turning and walking away. I can't help but think he's going to leap in with something as a surprise, but I'm going to be the one surprised.
He's looking at us.
Now he's looking at us. And he's dancing around.
Look at this. I mean, what is he, flying? I mean, what is all this motion? Not since Chris Eubank did all those strange motions in England have I seen a guy do all this crazy stuff.
You know, Tommy Morrison did a lot of walking around in similar fashion with George Foreman, jumping in with some jabs, but George was a big puncher, and Tommy forced to be the boxer. Here, Larry's the
nice
boxer.
Right hand. Nice right hand. Has Holmes holding on.
Less than 30 seconds to go in round 5. There's a miss, but McCall comes back with a left, charging into Holmes against the ropes.
Break.
Holmes now resigned to taking body shots. I don't know what he's doing. There's a lot of talking going on here. This looks like the Royal Shakespearean Theater rather than a boxing match here. What are they, acting here?
Punch to get out. Break.
Final seconds of the round.
Look at Larry.
And Holmes just in statuesque fashion, just standing there. And now has a word for Richard Steele.
Get these arms down. How you feel? You got my feet. Now listen. Now you're boxing just nice. That's it. Oliver. Right, now you're not throwing yourself away. That's the way to use the jab. I see doubling up on the jab.
Watch the backhand, okay?
Okay, baby.
Okay, I will. Keep it clean. Okay. I wasn't trying, okay.
All right, deep the nails, way up. Now, when you get close, now, remember, hit it on the arm. Now, that's not the way. Take that right hand and wear that damn jab arm out. Right? But come back with your left hook. Come back with your left hook so you camouflage it. You see what I mean?
Let's take a look at Holmes, one of these wide misses. He misses, and also McCall misses, but he comes back with a second shot and a third, and of course, that is points for McCall. Take a look at it overhead, Bobby.
Yeah, you see as he misses, and then again, that's our same right hand he hit Lennox Lewis with, only it was a little straighter and a little cleaner, but that's the counter right hand that McCall likes to land.
Yeah, I just wish they'd quit play acting because it's not necessary. Let him fight. The only guy that wins there is Holmes. He's got the times.
Round 6. Holmes asking for McCall to mix it up in round 5. Does he really want that?
Once again, Larry comes out as the aggressor. Oliver walks away kind of nonchalantly.
Larry just standing there the last 10 seconds of the 5th round and then having a little conversation with Richard Steele as the bell sounded. McCall dancing around up on the balls of his feet against a stationary target, Larry Holmes. There's that jab that connects by McCall, the left jab.
Well, McCall is not impressing. He may be winning these rounds, but he's not impressing. Those are two good jabs by Holmes.
Now he looks away again, does McCall, this time to the other side.
Well, I'm not sure I understand that at all, Steve or Freddie.
No. Maybe Riddick Bowe has finally found a companion. mysterious things that these guys do in the ring.
Loading up with the right, McCall. Well, he's got some unusual moves in the ring.
Yeah, this is a sort of disco dancer fighting.
Right hand by Holmes. It tagged McCall, then he goes to the ribs.
Larry's throwing some punches now that he means business.
Yeah, he's like opening up and saying, okay, let's get to a fight here.
Holmes very, very serious right now. He was playing around before. Now he's stalking McCall, waiting for his opening. Oh, an overhand right to the back of Oliver McCall. Then a missed uppercut by Oliver McCall.
Oliver's not even really working enough to win the round, even if he were being effective, and he's not being effective. I'm not sure what he's doing. Maybe he wants to take Larry into the later rounds and work using that age factor, but I don't know.
Again, McCall looking away. He's democratic. He's looking everywhere.
Yeah. Break the back. Let him go.
But Larry is the one that's carrying the action in this round. Larry is the one that's trying to fight and doing everything. The other guy is just sort of reacting in that theatrical fashion.
Larry Holmes using all of his experience, summoning all up that experience against the younger Oliver McCall. 20 seconds to go in the 6th round. Holmes blinking away. McCall looking away. Now, McCall dancing around, looks over to ringside. 5 seconds in the round. There's the jab by McCall as he finishes the round in dancing fashion. Let's go over to Jim Gray right now. Jim.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. I'm here with Larry Holmes Jr. And Larry, how do you think your dad's doing so far?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
You're nervous. You're losing your voice, aren't you?
Yeah.
How tough is it to watch your dad fight?
Hard. I don't like coming anymore. It's nerve-wracking.
Anymore? How many times did you see him fight when he was champion, and do you remember it?
Like once or twice, and I don't remember at all.
What's he like to be around at home after he wins or loses, just being beaten up?
Well, he's, I don't know, tired, don't talk a lot, just lays on the couch.
You getting a lot of fights in school? Are you going to be a fighter?
No, I don't get in fights.
All right, Larry Jr. Good to see you. Good luck to you and your dad. Steve.
All right, Jim. Meanwhile, as Larry Holmes ponders the situation, getting ready for round number 7, the folks in McCall, oh, big right hand by Holmes. The folks in McCall's corner were saying, don't play to the crowd. Stop doing that stuff. Get focused. Get serious.
Look how serious Larry Holmes is. And this guy still is coming,
pounding away. Larry Holmes and the crowd loving it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I had to fight that even because Oliver's not doing the job and Larry is doing the job.
I had Oliver half of him had 58 to 56, but some of those rounds could easily go the other way. And since he started play acting, I'm sure a couple have gone the other way.
McCall has held the title for only about 6 months. Get your hands off the rope, says Richard Steele to Larry Holmes. He doesn't care how many championships he's won. And now McCall working to the face with the jab.
Punching it out.
See, right there, he's got to get off. Oliver McCall's got to unload there, throw some shots at the body. You don't have to load up every one, but he's got to shoot something.
That was the best opportunity to unload right then, and he went into the clinch. I mean, you saw it and I saw it. You thought it was going to trigger off. He didn't.
Watch your hand, okay? Get your hands off.
Get your hands off the ropes again. The McCall corner wants him to double up on the jab.
That warning from Richard Steele is watch your hands. He pushed him away with an open hand. Might have stuck his thumb in his eye. Obviously, I don't think it was on purpose.
Also, how many times can you warn a guy for holding the rope? It's illegal, but I don't know. I never understood why. I mean, it's...
Holmes just looking to fend him off. And he got through with the left hand, McCall. And now the right missing. Now McCall just leaning on the body of Holmes. And Holmes just content to lay against the ropes.
Well, but he took the whole beginning of that round with that fierce fighting ability of his, did Larry Holmes. You know what, he's even on Bobby's card. He's sneaking up on my card. And let me tell you, the sentimental favorite that he is, he can steal this. he could steal this right here in Las Vegas.
Well, McCall's not going to get another invitation to go on David Letterman.
Don't hold him, don't
if
hold
he
him.
continues this.
I'm a bit puzzled by what Oliver McCall's doing. Larry, I knew, would come here to win. I said that to a lot of people who thought he was just doing it for money. I said, that's not why Larry's here. He's here for respect. He's here to win, and he will come and give himself every chance. But I also expected Oliver to prepare himself much better.
Less than 30 seconds in round 7. And in almost magnetic fashion, Holmes right back to the ropes in that corner.
Keep him up, keep him up.
Final seconds of the 7th round for the WBC heavyweight title.
Close your eyes. If you hit it, if you hit this guy where we plan to hit him at all, you don't have no problem about this guy. Because you can't miss. You understand what I'm saying?
We're still going low.
Okay.
Bring him up. The last, yeah, this is the last one.
Okay. All right, now listen. Hit him on the damn arm. Okay, now stay out of there. Hit him on the arm. Right? But throw the punches, Oliver. You hit him on that damn left arm, you got no problem with him. That ain't a wasted punch, Oliver. But you ain't hit him on that.
Take your time. Take your time. Don't let him excite you. He don't have much left.
You have to wait for this corner.
Okay, give me a power down there. Take this motherfucker from him, champ. You are the boss.
Sense of urgency in the McCall corner. Georgie Benton going at it with McCall, is not heeding his instructions. Meanwhile, very calm in the Larry Holmes corner. They say, take your time. He doesn't have much left.
Well, I'll tell you, all fight long, he's been throwing that right hand. It's getting closer, and sure he's got a punch. Larry Holmes has got a punch to knock you out. The further the fight goes, the better Larry Holmes looks. And that's a surprise.
Well,
he should be wearing out, and instead he comes out like gangbusters.
1 or 2 big body shots. McCall's throwing a couple to the head, but he's loading up on the shots, and he's making him tired. Takes the same amount of energy to start that punch as it doesn't stop it if you miss, and that causes fatigue.
McCall looking around over his left shoulder, over his right shoulder. Now he invites Holmes in.
And you know what I don't understand about that is McCall's been winning on the ropes and losing in the center of the ring. So the battle better suited for him right here.
So now in the center of the ring once again. There's the jab by McCall, counter jab by Holmes.
But McCall is like in slow motion. There's no fury to this fighting. There's no fierceness to it. It's sort of in limbo kind of fighting. I don't know.
He's complaining about a thumb now.
Now he's going to talk about that.
That's it, baby. Use it.
Earlier tonight we saw another heavyweight championship fight, and that had a lot of action between Selden and Tucker, and who would have thought that'd be the case?
Well, that was a crisp battle. It was so interesting to see, and such a surprise here. We thought we were going to see fury at the beginning, and these guys have been fighting very slowly at a measured pace. Not interesting.
Well, Larry's doing what he's supposed to do. He's not supposed to try and invoke some wrath of war. You know, he wants to do what he's doing here and not start a burn.
I agree with you. For Larry, this is the ideal fight. What I don't understand is McCall. I mean, I understand Larry. I know exactly what he's doing.
McCall with a nice jab, pushing Holmes back. Holmes with his hands way down. Great hand by Holmes that got in. It landed.
Larry's doing what he told me he was going to do, and right now Oliver's not.
Beautiful right hook by Larry Holmes that connected. And McCall peering over the shoulder of Holmes, looking into the ringside seats. Continues to play to the crowd.
Work inside and get out. Come on.
Now he's got Holmes up against the ropes again. Right above us. Left hook, first left hook by McCall to the head of Holmes. Another left hook by Oliver McCall.
See in here where Oliver's working, Larry, working his body and digging some shots up top. On the ropes is where he's winning the fight, not in the center of the ring, but he walks back out.
Right. This is not to McCall's advantage. Out here in the center of the ring as the bell sounds. Back over to Jim Gray. Jim?
Thanks, Steve. I'm with Alethea McCall, Oliver's wife. Oliver was very confident coming into this fight. How do you feel he's doing?
I think he should be a little more aggressive, but other than that, he's doing great. You need to get under Holmes' jab.
You've been sitting here like you want to jump out and get into the ring. You're throwing a few punches. You're hollering and screaming.
Yeah, I should get in there. Whisper something in his ear, let him know he needs to get under Holmes' jab.
You're a little frustrated with what's going on, aren't you?
Not quite frustrated now.
Are you enjoying this? It took 9 years to get here, and now he's finally here. Are you enjoying this, or would you prefer maybe not to be watching all this?
No, I'm enjoying this a lot.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay.
All right, Steve. Tough time over here.
All right, lovely Alethea McCall with some good instructions.
I think we should ask her to come to our next SCT and add her to our team. She hit exactly what he's supposed to be doing, and even a wife says not energetic enough, not aggressive enough. Maybe they better get her in the corner.
Round number 9, Holmes' jab looking sharp in the 8th round. Let's see what happens here. Oliver McCall, the champion, upsetting Lennox Lewis. Larry Holmes, the challenger, 45 years of age. Coming back to the scene of his first heavyweight championship, 1978, when he beat Ken Norton.
Nothing to those punches. Bobby, nothing.
You know what? I was just going to say it. You took the words out of my mouth. I don't understand what's going on.
He's got a clean shot, and he just powder puffed it. I mean, can't believe this guy. Does he think the championship carries some privilege? They're just going to give him easy, close rounds? I think nostalgia and...
big left hand by McCall. Follows it up with a right and the left. Combinations by McCall.
Tell you what, a couple of those shots got home pretty good.
Cut under the left
Larry
eye.
up a little bit.
Larry Holmes cut under the left eye. Let's see if McCall can continue.
Watch your head.
McCall with a right hand off the top of Holmes' head. But tiring out now. McCall expending a lot of energy.
Watch your head.
So it was a short flurry by Oliver McCall.
There appears to be a cut underneath Larry's left eye, and his nose might be bleeding as well.
Here we go, midway through the 9th round. There's a right uppercut by Holmes. Back comes McCall, combination. Airing it out.
This is not the fight that Larry needs.
No, Larry, now is a fight that we expected from McCall.
Holmes can't get into a punching contest with McCall. Remember, Richard Steele is the referee. Blood coming from under the left eye of Holmes. Steele watching very closely. Reputation of stopping fights early. 1 minute to go in the night.
You know, I think that reputation for Richard Steele's not quite deserved. He made one questionable call and has never heard the end of it.
Here comes McCall again. Oh, what a left hand by McCall. That snapped Holmes' head back.
And Holmes came back with a combination showing the heart he has, but he's got to step out of that corner.
Maybe he can't, Bobby. Maybe he can't. He's pinned in there by McCall, and he's been hit some real hammering shots. This is the best fighting he's done.
Again, McCall operating to the head of Holmes.
If he can summon up the energy, McCall's got him now. Look at his face.
20 seconds left of the 9th round. What a round for McCall. Combination to the head again by Oliver McCall.
See, Steve, here's where your strength and just not being able to call upon your body at 45 to do it at once good. It's causing Larry to have some serious problems now.
Very big round for McCall.
Come on, let's go.
And that is it. And what a difference as Alethea McCall approves, the wife of Oliver.
Now listen, I want you to listen to this good. Now when you go out to this round, now let's see, babe. I know, let's see.
You're all right, baby. Let's get back with that jab.
You tired, Leroy?
I'm sorry. Low Vaseline, low Vaseline.
Hold it,
low Vaseline.
Big one, Cliff.
Watch out, John.
That is the face of a tired man. 45-year-old man who was beginning to find out that this is a tough game when you're facing a young man. Let's take a look at that left hook. The kind of damage it created the havoc in the corner.
Yeah,
but still the heart of Holmes. Still the heart of Holmes. He comes back.
I don't even think that was the first one, too. The first one was even better for him.
But what a guy. He still came back and forth.
Look how much coagulant substance under the left eye of Larry Holmes. Richard Steele calling time and acknowledging that. Going over to Don Turner. Too much stuff under the left eye. His face all swollen up.
He has a very bad gash there. It's not in a bad place as far as stopping fights are concerned, but it's a long gash. Looks like maybe even an elbow.
Well, he's puffing up.
The only good news is it's under the eye. Coming off the best round of the fight, Oliver McCall getting the wake-up call. Here we are in round number 10.
Larry came right out, hit him with a good 1-2, and then followed it with another one. So Larry's not all that much disturbed by what happened, but he knows he has to adjust.
And he knows he's got to do something to get back in the momentum of this thing, because McCall has certainly swung this fight around to him now.
Worker, get out!
Now Holmes brings McCall to his chest.
Right. Don't hold him, Larry. Don't hold him. Come on.
Looking to conserve energy, arguing and complaining to Richard Steele, been complaining about low blows all night. Steele did warn McCall between rounds a few rounds ago.
Now, Holmes always likes to talk and complain. That's nothing new for him.
McCall looking to pick up where he left off in the last round, stalking Holmes.
Hunter, get out!
Richard Steele screaming, punch and get out.
Hunter, get out of there! Come on, you guys, let's work.
The Holmes corner telling Larry, let's get back to that jab.
He just looked at our camera like he almost got it in his eye. Here comes McCall again.
I'll tell you what, Larry's probably just not able to get out of that corner because that's not where he should be. And McCall doesn't get in any hurry to get back in the corner where he should be.
Incredible.
We'll see if we see more of those potent left hooks by Oliver McCall. Here's the jab by Holmes, having no effect on Oliver McCall.
But
your hands are free, keep working.
It's the 10th round, and he's done way better than I thought he was going to do.
Your hands
he's
are free,
made
keep
this
working.
an interesting and effective fight. I mean, he's held off the younger man. It's McCall that has not covered himself with glory.
Just going to say, what does that say about the champion?
It says he wasn't trying as hard as he knows how.
All right, the jab again by Holmes. It goes back to what got him here. Right hand by Holmes, but a glancing blow. If that had connected.
And here comes the tape again. They're going to have to call timeout.
Oliver's just waiting too long. He's letting Larry rest where Larry should be pressed. And Larry, to his credit, is stepping to McCall, forcing the fight.
Good glove.
Again, they'll have to do some work on the tape.
I don't know why they don't put electrical tape. That duct tape, no, I'm serious. In some certain countries, they use that duct tape, and it doesn't come off. You got to cut it off. It's really tough. This stuff here is nothing.
30 seconds left in the round with the time call. Here we go. A slight blow for both fighters. Round 10 closing down. Holmes loading up with the right, but right off the shoulder of Holmes, able to duck, McCall able to duck away. And there's the bell to end round 10.
Put me out now, lad. No. And they go up?
Going to work, baby. Going to work.
Well, I have McCall ahead 96 to 94, but
get the water off
I'm
and
not sure.
stop there.
Tell you what, Freddie, it is that close. I have it 96, 94, 96, 95-ish. It's the kind of fight that so many rounds Oliver just took off, hurt him as far as the scoring's going, and now he's starting to look impressive. He swung the tie, but not by an awful
It's going to come. It's going to come.
not what we would expect. Let's listen.
Just stay on your step, baby.
It's all right. Just stop, Larry. Don't use that jab.
Stay on the stick. Stay on the stick. Stay on the
As we head into the championship rounds, round number 11. McCall sending Holmes back with the left jab. Right hand by Holmes, but doing no damage. Now the jab by Holmes.
every round seems to start the exact same, Steve, and I don't understand why McCall doesn't press it even harder.
Now he picks it up.
Don't hold him, Larry. Don't hold him.
I think he waits for Holmes to burn out, and he's got that energy at the very first minute, and then he just burns it out. And then it's nothing for the rest of the round. But he does try. Boy, you got to give it to Larry. He always has had heart. He's always been a champion in his heart.
Combination to the head by Oliver McCall. A right-left. Now doubling up on the left hooks is Oliver McCall.
Nice uppercut by Holmes, who didn't do anything.
Come on, don't hold him, man.
McCall, you can say what you want, but he looks to be in outstanding physical condition. There were some rumors that he might be out late partying, drinking a little too much beer, but he looks to be in superb condition here late in the fight.
You know, he's strong, and he's now got the mind of a champion, or so he says. And sometimes that makes a fighter rise to the occasion. Maybe he's not fighting the best fight, but he's starting to get the job done. Maybe he relied on his strength in the late round. Who knows?
And maybe he's just too impressed with the fact that Larry has been fighting ever since he was a kid, ever since McCall was a kid. And blood is now beginning to really pour out of his eye, out of Holmes' eye.
It is streaking out from underneath the left eye of Larry Holmes midway through the 11th round. Holmes just hanging on here, holding on with his glove to the hand of McCall.
McCall's doing some good body work in here, too, that's kind of going unnoticed a little bit. He's digging in there pretty good. It's got to affect Larry at this age, in this stage of the fight.
Holmes in good shape, but you got to remember he's in good shape for a man his age, 45.
And he's getting beaten, but not taking a shattering beating, not taking that kind of beating where you kind of wince and say, oh my God, stop the fight.
There's a doubling up of the left.
He's losing, that's all.
Beautiful left jab work there by McCall. Holmes again just holding on to the ropes, unloads with the right hand, but back comes McCall.
Punching it out, punching it out.
Again, that
watch the backhand.
Right hand by McCall has a few words for Richard Steele. It says, watch the backhand.
Come on, get your hands on the rope.
Look at the legs.
If I had to paint a picture of this fight, that was it right there. Him with it eating up and just holding on to that top rope. Oh,
right hand counter by McCall.
Once again, that right hand counter, the same one. He draws the fire with the right hand, leans over and fires his back.
Holmes is opening himself up. 15 seconds left in the 11th round for the WBC heavyweight title.
Well, I, for one, didn't think we'd go this far. A tribute to Larry Holmes.
Don't hold him. That's it, baby. Use it.
Well, I'll tell you, Freddie, I actually thought it would probably go the distance because I know Larry, and he's a prideful man and a great fighter.
Sit down, baby. Sit, baby. Sit.
Let's see, drive that. Keep that water off of that as much as possible. All right, let me get in there.
Come on, baby. This is it. Last round, baby.
Give me some water.
Work.
Last round, come on.
Oh, you want it. Let's do it, man. Come on.
A very concerned family. We heard from young Mr. Holmes earlier.
You know, Diane Holmes and my wife are very close.
They got you behind, Larry.
Kim said, don't let Bobby fight as a heavyweight. And Kim said, Diane, you're married to a heavyweight. Can you tell him what to do?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that right hand. It didn't land as good as it looked, but it did land. I mean, you know, he's been doing that all night long. This is the last round, and
the last time Holmes went 12, June 19th, 92, as they touched gloves. It was a loss to Holyfield for the undisputed heavyweight title. A week later, Oliver McCall lost the 12-round decision to Tony Tucker for the NABF heavyweight title. That was also the last time McCall went 12 rounds, and we thought that was a questionable decision. So here we go, 12th and final round for the WBC heavyweight championship. A battered Larry Holmes at the age of 45, hanging in there.
battered but still combative. Still in there with a very good, well-conditioned young man.
The fight might be just a little out of reach for Larry now, but, you know, some of these rounds are very close. Larry, I thought, had a nice lead early. McCall closed the gap, then he did a little seesawing. I don't even know what.
But don't you think, against the champion, even in Nevada, you got to be more convincing than this.
Anything goes in Nevada, Steve.
Yeah, you are right. Chuck Jampa of Nevada, Barbara Perez of New York, and Tomatsu Tomihara of Hawaii are your judges.
Yeah, but the tide has swung ever since that beating, that battering in the corner there, and it's been all McCall. And here's again a picture of the fight.
That was round 9 when Oliver McCall really unleashed that barrage.
Don't hold him, Dwight. Step back, step back.
This is the last round. Holmes talking to McCall, saying, come on in. Misses with the right hand. Just flailing away is Holmes.
Punching it out, punching it out. Take it, champ, take it. Right, step back. Come on, champ.
Well, I hope this discourages him from trying anything else.
It's a nice right hand Larry landed there, but it's a little bit too short on the late side.
And Larry Holmes in desperate need of a knockout here to win this fight, we would think. Coming up to 1 minute remaining in the 12th round.
Keep working inside.
Holmes just loading up with the right hand.
Boy, step back, step back, step back. Come on, Larry. Let's go, Larry. Let's go, Larry.
Right hand by McCall that hit air. 50 seconds and counting.
Keep him up, keep him up. Come on, last round, guys, last round.
Richard Steele imploring Larry Holmes. Come on, last round, encouraging him. The crowd now rising.
You gotta like a referee that coaxes you on.
Less than 30 seconds. McCall bouncing around, looking to finish in strong fashion. Held up on that right hand at the last second of McCall.
Steve, now it's purely a matter of strength and use, and the 45-year-old body of Larry not being able to deal with what Oliver has left.
Final seconds. McCall finishing with a brilliant. That is it.
Well, not an auspicious beginning, not a auspicious first fight for the heavyweight champion. McCall and Larry did much better than I thought. Kudos to him, but I hope that this points out to him that he should not be in this and get out finally once and for all.
He did say before the fight tonight that if he loses, this will be his last fight. We shall see. Rough night, long night for Larry Holmes, and his face tells the story.
Larry Holmes is a champion person, and he's got a champion heart. Was a champion fighter for many years, and I'm also proud to say he's my friend, and I tip my hat to him. No one thought he would do this well. I did. I talked to him, I knew, but again, it's so difficult to call upon a 45-year-old body that's been through so much. It's not just that he was easing along. He fought wars with Tyson, with Weaver, with all of those guys, Ken Norton, and it's just too much, Steve.
He said, if I lose this fight, I'll quit right away. You see the gash under the left eye. He says there's no sense in going on if I lose. Holmes, the WBC and IBF heavyweight champion from 78 to 85, following a stint as Muhammad Ali's sparring partner. And here's Mike Tyson's former sparring partner, Oliver McCall, who's talking it up.
As you can see, he had a good jab, but if you count, I had a better jab. I definitely had a better jab.
You were the man.
I definitely had the better jab. The words of Oliver McCall, who was playing to the crowd for a good portion of this night. Looks like we are ready for the decision, so let's throw it on up to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Barbara Pettis scores the bout 114 to 113. Tamotsu Tomihara scores the bout 115 to 114. Judge at ringside, Chuck Jampa scores the bout 115 to 112. All three in favor of the winner. And still champion, the Atomic Bull, Oliver McCall.
You can hear the crowd reacting as those scores are being announced by Jimmy Lennon Jr. Awfully close, Bobby.
I had it just a couple of points myself. Everybody did, and I'm happy to see that the Las Vegas judges are in sync with my way of thinking. It makes me feel good.
Bobby, that could be looked at in two different ways.
Yes, I guess it could.
Oliver McCall, his first title defense, beats Larry Holmes, lifting his record to 26-5, providing himself with an early birthday present. As he turns 30 April the 21st, he wins in very tight fashion, 114, 113, 115, 114.
Chuck, go! Chuck! Ladies and gentlemen, this bout of the evening is sanctioned by the WBC, Jose Suleiman, President,
and by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Bob Fremoyle, Chairman, Roy Tennyson, Executive Secretary, with Commissioner Art Lurie in attendance. The officials assigned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission at this time, the judges are Dwayne Ford, Dolby Shirley, and Hal Miller. The timekeeper is Al Bisick, counting at the knockdowns Charlie Roth. The attending physicians at ringside, Doctors Donald Romeo and Flip Pomansky, and the referee is Richard Steele. This is the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World. Introducing in the blue corner, the challenger, rated number 3 by the WBC in the world, fighting out of Pontiac, Michigan, weighing 216 pounds. He is undefeated in his professional career with 24 wins, no defeats, 1 draw, and 20 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the challenger, Pinklon, Pinky Thomas. And in the red corner, introducing the WBC champion of the world in the heavyweight division. He fights out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He weighed in at 217 pounds. His professional record consists of 18 wins, 1 defeat with 12 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, the champion, Terrible Tim Witherspoon.
Okay, I gave both fighters instructions in the dressing room. I want to caution you, obey my commands at all times. When I say break, stop punching, take a step back. Protecting yourself at all times. Shake hands, good luck to both of you.
Bring it back. They say the heavyweight division isn't what it used to be, and they may be right. Certainly as far as the color of the challenger's trunks, pink. It didn't used to be that way.
But I'll tell you, if your name is Pinky, you've got to be tough.
You got to fight. Grandfather named Franklin, grandmother named Pinky. They combined them, and it became Pinklon. And he's actually the second of the Pinklons, and his son is also a Pinklon.
And here's a guy who has not changed the expression on his face in the 4 days that we've been here in Las Vegas. He has looked exactly the same at all times. And incidentally, one other note as we get started here in the first round. Tim Witherspoon actually got a mixture of cheers and boos when he was introduced. So as we mentioned, he is a champion, but he has to treat himself as a challenger. He's got a lot to prove.
What I've noticed, both fighters are standing straight up, and they're winning the best shots. So we could have a flash flood knockdown. There's no perspiration. I guess that's because of the national anthem. Pinklon Thomas has that good left jab, good strong left jab. Tim Witherspoon works the body very well. Very strong inside.
He has said he's got to punch more, he's got to be more active, and he said he was going to do that. Now we'll see if the man can change his style. We saw one man try to change his style in a fight just a moment ago, and we saw him lose. Greg Page was a different Greg Page, but the result was a loss to David Bay.
Both fighters are very tight at this point, Barry, and they're just trying to establish themselves with their left jabs.
Thomas, former track man, has very good legs, good solid looking fighter. Takes a good chopping right hand by Tim Witherspoon.
That's going to happen throughout the fight as long as both fighters are standing straight up.
And Thomas content to keep that left hand down around his waistband and just inviting that right hand lead.
You notice that Tim Witherspoon always finishes off by throwing a body shot. He's a very good body puncher. He knows exactly how to wear his man down and then take advantage of it.
Neither one of these fighters has been around for a long time, interesting to note.
Well, I think natural talent both fighters has, and just that natural raw physical strength that compensates for the inexperience.
Witherspoon, 19 years old when he started fighting. Pinklon Thomas, 21 years old when he started fighting. Only had 3 amateur fights. Actually, a little bit of swelling early along the left eye of Pinklon Thomas.
Well, they're both just wailing away at each other and they're standing in front. No movement, no lateral movement, no angles. They're right in front of each other.
That was a 2-punch combination by Thomas. Pretty early to have any swelling, and Thomas does have just ever so slight an amount on the cheek. He took a good punch that time from Tim Witherspoon.
Oh, look at the right hand of Pinklon Thomas. He drops it every time he extends that left jab. A left hook by Tim Witherspoon would be beautiful.
Something to watch for, and he does in fact do that. Tim Witherspoon, true to his word, has been much more active in round one here.
Let's go into the corner of Tim Witherspoon, the champion.
Pushing your jab, all right? Jab, left hook. Left hook up off the jab, all right? All right? Give him a little rinse.
Aaron Snow is 24 years old, the trainer. Probably the youngest trainer ever of a heavyweight champion.
All right? You jab, left hook, Tim. You keep pushing your jab, all right?
And there you see with his back to you, the veteran trainer Angelo Dundee, who was brought in just 2 weeks ago to be with Pinklon Thomas.
Stay loose. See what you do licks this fella, right? Let's do it. Just stay loose. Don't get tight. Come on.
Angelo Dundee is looking for his 10th world champion in this fight. He is 63 years old. Just yesterday, in fact, Ray. Happy birthday, Angelo. We'll see if it is or not.
Angelo Dundee does have a way of getting the attention of his fighter in the corner. I'll say that, Ray.
Well, if someone's smacking your thigh, it brings you back to life. And that's what Angelo's trying to do with Pinklon Thomas. He doesn't want his man to remain stiff and tight. He wants him to loosen up a bit.
And Pinklon Thomas is straight up and down here, and right now the better jabs are coming from Tim Witherspoon.
And now Pinklon Thomas floating that left jab. Once again, the right hand of Pinklon Thomas is down. He drops it. I don't see why Tim Witherspoon is not taking advantage of it. There's the right hand.
It was a good punch, even though Tim Witherspoon was falling away when he threw it. Another quick right hand lead. And Thomas keeps that left hand down by his side, too, until he flicks the jab, and then he drops his right hand.
I'm more so concerned with that right hand of Pinklon Thomas because the left hand, his shoulders are protecting him. But that right hand always bothers him. He's just too straight up, I mean, jabs, right hands can easily connect rather.
Witherspoon scoring with some proficiency here.
What's going to be the case?
Good combination by Thomas that time. Might have stunned or at least gotten the attention of Tim Witherspoon.
And what's doing the damage is the left jab of Pinklon Thomas because it's like a right hand because he's converted southpaw.
Witherspoon picking up the pace early on here, something he has not done in the past. He promised everybody he would. He's been true to his word so far. But he's got a tough customer in front of him tonight.
I've seen both fighters much more relaxed in other fights than I've seen tonight.
Combination by Witherspoon, both score. Thomas seems to telegraph his punches a little bit too.
For Pinklon, especially when he throws that right hand to the body, it's open glove, so it's not really that effective.
Right hand lead that time by Thomas.
Just then, Tim Witherspoon switched to southpaw. He didn't land. They both seem so tight to me, though.
Right hand by Thomas, or rather by Witherspoon again. As Ray Leonard mentioned earlier, Pinklon Thomas, a converted southpaw. In fact, he is really left-handed. He writes left-handed, does most things left-handed. Good right hand combination by Pinklon Thomas. Jab is effective when it does get in. Heavy-handed, Pinklon Thomas.
Great.
Oh, we want to remind you that we have plenty of boxing coming your way here on HBO. Another outstanding fight card, World Championship Boxing coming up on Friday, October 19th. We will be in New York at Madison Square Garden where marvelous Marvin Hagler, the undisputed middleweight champion, tries it again against Mustafa Hamsho. Hamsho much improved from the last time these two saw each other. And a lot of people are saying that perhaps marvelous Marvin Hagler can be had. Hagler, of course, doesn't think so.
Deep breath. You got it. Don't worry about it. You got it. You got plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Go inside.
Spit it out.
Took a shot under the heart and bring it back over the top. Quick movements up top.
Let's see you going.
No, that's slow. From one jab at a time now. You time it. Right hand, look for it.
Tim Witherspoon asked if Thomas's eye was cut. Perhaps he saw some reddening there. These are two big, strong men just standing in front of each other and punching away.
That's exactly what's happened. This whole fight has been fought in the center of the ring. It's a 20-foot square. It's been fought in about 4-foot square.
Well, there's just a little redness under the eyes of Pinklon Thomas. And I'm sure Tim Witherspoon wants to go after it and make it worse.
And Witherspoon continues to work very hard offensively.
Once again, Witherspoon turns southpaw. What's happening? Both fighters are just trying to load up with one big punch. Those are good shots to the body by Witherspoon.
Very good body shot. Witherspoon looking very sharp. Takes that jab again. When Thomas gets that jab inside, it is a very effective punch, and it actually snaps the head of his opponent back. Another thing to keep in mind is that Thomas is a fighter who historically has fought better in the later rounds.
Well, now Thomas just tried to land a good right hand. And what you're saying now, both fighters getting relaxed. Good body shot with the left hook to the body thrown by Tim Witherspoon. But as I was saying, Barrett, they're both fighters getting loose now. And you'll see more punches thrown.
Witherspoon staying very busy so far, being pretty sharp with his punches. Both men actually fairly sharp with their punches.
You have to be very careful with this one way he walks away because what can happen, Pinklon Thomas can rush in and land some shots.
Witherspoon talking to Thomas saying, come on, come on. That's a good left hook. Some pretty heavy punches being landed through the first 2.5 rounds here. Witherspoon a little bit short with the right hand. We had his man open. Witherspoon did an interesting thing there. Before he took 2 punches from Thomas, he just took a big, deep breath.
But he stood directly in front of Pinklon Thomas. That's why Pinklon was able to land. That jab just...
And he's still breathing through his mouth, and I don't know if there's some trouble. Might have been hit in the stomach or something and not caused him to catch his breath.
Witherspoon was blinking now. That jab, as I was stating, the jab of Pinklon Thomas is so strong and so devastating.
Thomas being very efficient here. And Witherspoon's pace has slowed considerably here in this round.
Now Pinklon is doing the right thing. He's trying to pick his shots.
Wild right hand by Witherspoon at the bell. Interesting round, I think, Larry.
I think that Thomas put some real hurt on Witherspoon in that round. A left jab made him blink. And for some reason, Witherspoon looked like he was sucking a little air there. I don't know what that was all about. There you see Witherspoon pouring through the defense. Thomas pouring through Witherspoon's defense. Here's another look at it. As you notice, Witherspoon tries to use his right hand as a parrying defensive weapon. And what Thomas is trying to do is find ways to come around it, both with the right and the left hooks.
Back him up.
Right hand around the body. You know, knock him out. Too hard. Relax your legs. Let's go. Jab, right hand around the body, left hook up top. All right?
This is the 4th round, and Pinklon Thomas started to exert himself in that last round.
Well, Witherspoon was instructed to work that body, right hand to the body and back up to the head. But he has to get inside first. And what's going to get him inside, Barry, is the left jab.
Backhanded him. And Richard Steele steps in and says, you can't do that.
That was a version of Bruce Lee.
We have seen that a number of times tonight. You know, you can almost see a fighter when he decides that he's got respect for his man, and that's the way Tim Witherspoon looks to me right now. It looks like he's thinking, this guy can hurt me.
I'm sure he's aware of that. And I noticed that Witherspoon is constantly blinking his eye. It appears to me it's starting to bother him. Witherspoon doesn't appear to me, Barry, to be in the fight. I mean, he just doesn't seem as confident as I've seen him in his previous fights.
He's blinking like a fighter who might have been thumbed. I didn't see that happen, but it's not inconceivable that it could have.
I mean, Witherspoon is just not as aggressive. He's just there. And you notice that Thomas is just taking advantage of it. And he's picking his shots. He used that left jab very well. And what's protecting Thomas is his shoulders, because Tim Witherspoon's punches are roundhouse and is riding over Thomas' shoulders.
Witherspoon covering up, and Thomas still scoring. A little bit of swelling, not appreciably, but a little bit of swelling along the left eye of Tim Witherspoon. He's taken a lot of shots.
I've noticed that Witherspoon puts both feet together. Very bad. It's so easy to be knocked down or knocked off balance.
You know, the other side of the coin, we talked about the fact that Thomas is a straight up and down fighter, but he does always seem to be on balance when he punches. He's flat-footed, really seems to get the most out of his punches. That was a good right hand by Witherspoon.
Watch the jab. Look at the jab of Pinklon Thomas. I mean, he's starting to double up now. And what Witherspoon is doing, he's starting to telegraph that right hand. Pinklon Thomas is waiting for it, and that's why he just covers up.
Thomas pacing himself as he has in most every fight. For a moment, Witherspoon goes southpaw again, now switches back.
Look at that left jab just getting through. And it's consistent, Barry. And it's starting to bother Witherspoon.
Witherspoon breathing through his mouth a little bit. He's absorbed a lot of punishment, actually. There hasn't been the one big punch. But Thomas has got that jab in his face, and it's a very effective jab. You can just hear it snap every time he uses it.
Exactly. He's snapping it. It appears to me he's waiting for it to get his right hand in, because the jab is definitely finding its way through the defense of Witherspoon.
Yeah. All right, start putting a little bit more pressure on him. Start squatting down and shooting jabs. Start shooting jabs. Squat down on him. Your legs are a little bit too straight up in the air, all right? Start squatting down. Start pumping. You want to step to him now, all right? Make him use his legs, all right? Make him lose his legs now, all right? Jab. Yeah. Jab, left hook to the body. It's a good right hand up top. Yeah, it's a good fight, Tim. All right? Just put a little more pressure on him.
A little bit. Pick it up. Get looser with that jab. Get looser with that jab. No, come on. Well, stop backing up. And when he turns southpaw, jab him. You can. Jab him when he turns southpaw. Get up. Come on. Get up next champ. Come on.
You heard Witherspoon ask whether it was a good fight. Once again, his concern that he is performing so that the public will appreciate his performance. But of course, he's got to win.
You know, Angelo instructed Pinklon Thomas, once Tim Witherspoon turns to southpaw, to release that left jab, because he can catch him while he's in motion.
Well, the jab has been very effective for Pinklon Thomas, and he seems, for the last round and a half or so, to have taken charge in this fight.
The right out, Barry, is really bothering Tim Witherspoon. He's blinking now.
Seems to be. One of the three punches landed by Witherspoon, and now he retreats to the ropes.
Witherspoon was so concerned on whether or not he's looking good or whether or not it's a good fight that I think it's just breaking his concentration.
Subscribing to the theory that it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you look playing the game.
Well, and that's the way to make more money, too. You got to be impressive, and I think that's what's on his mind.
You know, the other thing that strikes me, too, about the way Witherspoon fights, Witherspoon seems to be looking at the belt buckle of Pinklon Thomas and not into his eyes.
Well, I don't know exactly what his strategy is. I mean, he's been going to the body whatever opportunity he has, but he has not been consistent enough. Whereas that Pinklon Thomas, I mean, he's moving away, he's using his footwork, he steps out of reach of Witherspoon. Look, he's very elusive there.
Backhanded him again, and once more Richard Steele
gives him a warning about it.
And that could prove to be costly if they deduct a round.
You know, just as we said earlier that Witherspoon seems at this point to respect the fact that Thomas can hurt him, the opposite I feel is true about Thomas. I believe he doesn't think that Witherspoon can hurt him.
Well, Witherspoon has yet to land some big good punches.
Good right hand there by Thomas. And there's a lunging shot by Witherspoon once more.
It could possibly, like I said, but it could, well, he's deducting 1 round. And now you may see frustration in the eyes of Tim Witherspoon, which he can lose his composure and leave himself wide open.
So 1 point deducted from Tim Witherspoon by Richard Steele. 2 warnings in this round for backhanding.
You know something? Pinklon Thomas is so relaxed, Barry. I mean, he's in control. He feels he's totally dominating this fight, and he's showing no respect whatsoever to Tim Witherspoon.
That's why I say he's fighting like a man who doesn't feel that he can be hurt. Last time I said that, you got knocked down.
Let's not talk about that, okay?
If indeed Thomas won that round on the judges' cards, it would be a 2-point round, as good as a big knockdown round. Now there you see where he came back with his backhand. This is the wrong sport for a backhand. There you'll see it again there. It's an instinctive reaction. He's not doing it deliberately, and he's sorry almost immediately as he hits his opponent, but it cost him a point that could be an important point. Lunging right hand by Witherspoon, showing some frustration on his part. Now he's got to start thinking of winning and not looking good.
Fine, lift him up. Lift him up.
Right now the champion is behind in this fight. Some of the best punches of the fight are being thrown by Angelo Dundee between rounds, I'll tell you that.
Pump it. That's it. Make it back up.
So this is the 6th round. And again, Witherspoon comes out blinking his eyes.
Pump it. Don't wait on him. There you go. Don't wait on him.
Thomas has been so good as far as getting away from those punches thrown by Witherspoon. It seems as though he knows exactly when to move that head.
You're waiting on him, Tim.
He's very, very calm also. Seems to be in control. And he seems to have Witherspoon confused.
Well, that is the key to the fight. In fact, Thomas is far more relaxed than Witherspoon.
Now, Thomas took 2 left hooks by Witherspoon. Might have been his best shots, and he didn't back him up at all.
Oh, look for one shot. Oh, look for one shot.
Now back to the southpaw, and he was caught. And what I see in Witherspoon, he's just floating his jab out. He's southpaw, and I still see that the blinking in Witherspoon, that his eyes, whatever it is, it's really bothering him.
Well, Thomas showing an uncanny ability to get through those gloves on the jab.
And now I see Witherspoon is rushing in.
And Witherspoon looked at Richard Steele about something. I'm not too sure, but Witherspoon's not hurt here.
His eyes is really bothering, but I see now he's blinking both eyes now.
Definitely is, and I think he wanted to tell Richard Steele something, but remember the credo of protect yourself at all times. Thomas goes downstairs.
What Thomas should do, he should stay on the outside and use that jab. Because quite naturally, the eyes are bothering him. His eyes are really bothering him now, and he can just pick them off.
We haven't heard any conversation in Witherspoon's corner about any problem with his eyes, but the fact is he has been blinking for most of the fight.
Look at the left jab of Pinklon Thomas. It's getting through the defense of Witherspoon so easily now.
And a right hand comes right over the top. And again the jab, right through the gloves. Radar jab.
Thomas' jab is getting through beautiful, but I think he should put some more punches together. Right hand, left hook.
But he is picking the tempo up here. Coming with the right hand a lot more than he was early.
That left jab is devastating. Just snapping the head of Tim Witherspoon.
And Witherspoon a right hand and a left hand to the chin of Pinklon Thomas, but again, Thomas doesn't take a backward step.
See, Thomas, he's using that shoulder again.
That was a good left hand by Thomas, and now he follows it up.
Don't hold him, keep him up.
Shut up, I'm the champ, man. All right, so let's fight. Let's fight. That's all, too. Come on.
All right. He's shooting that one jab on you, Tim. That's all he's doing. You're going to catch it some and slip some. All right? That jab, that's all. The way it is. I'm getting him, too.
Let's take a look here and see if Thomas can, how he's trying to penetrate Witherspoon's cover-up defense here. There was an exchange in the corner there that is very interesting. There's a lot of advice coming to the champion saying you can't let up, you got to go after him. And Witherspoon responded, "Let's not panic, I'm the champion."
So Witherspoon, obviously, in his mind at least, knows what he's doing. Should also point out, this fight is for 12 rounds. Championship fight, WBC, 12, not 15.
And what has been doing the most damage has been the left jab. Especially for Pinklon Thomas.
I'm really impressed with the left jab of Pinklon Thomas. I really am. One of the best I've seen in the heavyweight division in a long time. Pinklon Thomas, just a good athlete. Was a track man, played basketball, played a little football. Look at that jab.
That jab was beautiful.
I'll tell you, he makes Tim Witherspoon look like one of those dogs in the back of a car.
Those body shots now are starting to hurt Pinklon Thomas. But Witherspoon doesn't stay down long enough.
That was a good left hand by Witherspoon.
I don't think Pinklon Thomas should be there because he's doing a much better job and he's far more effective on the outside, just using that left jab. Inside, he's taking a chance of being caught by one of those roundhouse punches thrown by Witherspoon.
An overhand right by Witherspoon. Thomas, right at the moment, looks like he might be a little bit tired. That was a good right hand by Witherspoon.
Again, Bud, Pinklon Thomas doesn't want to be inside fighting Tim Witherspoon's fight. He should be outside because he's giving Witherspoon an opportunity to land some of those punches. The left jab has been working great for Pinklon Thomas. And especially he can do much more damage to the eyes because Witherspoon has been flicking throughout the fight. So left jab will come in handy.
And Witherspoon getting the better of it inside. Good right hand. That hurt Thomas. Thomas opens up, however. He was hurt. He came right back and hurt Witherspoon. Might have been the best exchange of the fight on both sides.
Now you see what's happening. Become going for punch for punch.
There was a right hand. He measured Witherspoon with the right and hurt it.
Pinklon Thomas showed us some championship gumption right there. He looked tired. He caught a fusillade of punches and came back with a bigger fusillade. Right now, in my judgment, the champion is in very serious trouble. Unless he there's a challenger down somewhere along the way, I think we're going to see a change of title here.
series of punches thrown by Pinklon Thomas. He's been very impressive using that left jab and really doing a number on Tim Witherspoon. The left jab has been bothering Tim throughout the fight.
Witherspoon was a little shocked to see Thomas come back the way he did. It's still early. There are 5 rounds to go. But Witherspoon has got to get going.
And one thing to mention along those lines, Witherspoon was a little bit slow, or rather, Thomas was a little bit slow going back to his corner at the end of that last round. And he was leaning on Tim Witherspoon during the round. Now, maybe he was just taking a little bit of a blow. We'll see.
And now the jab of Witherspoon is starting to become effective. Starting to land consistently. And he's starting to come to life now.
A lot of solid jabs in this fight.
Good body shot by Witherspoon.
Very effective jabs on both sides now. Witherspoon still seems to aim his right hand a little bit.
He's not, Witherspoon's not blinking as much, so it appears that his vision is starting to clear up. It's frustrating to have a left jab in your face, but to have a strong left jab that is capable of knocking your back. I really don't like that. It's really discouraging.
There is just the slightest bit of reddening over the left eye of Pinklon Thomas. It's not anything that's a factor right at the moment, but one of those things to watch. Both men scoring here.
You see the way that Pinklon Thomas shies away from that right hand. Pinklon is so strong, he just throws arm punches. He really doesn't put his body behind his punches. And as strong as he is,
and there again, it might have been thumbed that time. Witherspoon blinking his eyes, trying to stay away, and you know he's having troubles here. We'll have to try to take a look at that and see if there was a thumb involved, Larry, at the end of this round.
It just happens so quickly. It's so hard to detect once you hit the replay.
Witherspoon fights off the ropes, lunging punches.
Very good body movement by Pinklon Thomas.
And Witherspoon just stands there and took a couple of good shots. No question, but the right eye was bothering him. Does not seem to be bothering him right at the moment, however.
If Pinklon Thomas will throw some shots and wants to get inside, he just keeps throwing punches. If he decides to fight that in that manner. But he's doing a very good job staying on the outside with the left jab.
Witherspoon being active here and scoring probably the heavier of the two here in this round.
Witherspoon came back in that round. He turned it around a bit. The question now is whether he can sustain it.
Okay.
Tommy. Hey, hold that. Step with the jab. Step with the jab. Take the jab, go left hook.
Now let's see what happened where Witherspoon came out blinking his eye. Right there. And I believe I did see a thumb there. It was absolutely thumbed with that punch. Right there you could see the thumb. It's plain as a picture.
It's just so unfortunate a thumb could change the whole fight around.
Tim Witherspoon has 4 rounds left to defend his title successfully.
All right there, you did get a look at really what is the magic of television. It was definitely a thumb. It does not seem to be bothering Tim Witherspoon right at the moment. That is the right eye.
What happens, Bert, once Thomas lands a jab to that eye, Witherspoon starts to blink again. And what I'm sure he's going through is blurred vision.
Witherspoon started to load up a little bit over the last 2 rounds. And the swelling over the left eye of Pinklon Thomas a little bit worse than it was now. Witherspoon, the more active of the 2 over the last round and a half.
Good, very good lead-off right by Witherspoon. For Witherspoon, his best bet is to get inside and work that body and stay aggressive.
Good left hook by Witherspoon. Witherspoon started to load up a little bit here.
Well, he's getting away a lot of rounds, and in fact, he lost a point in one of the rounds for backhanding Pinklon Thomas. So he needs to get on the ball and become very aggressive.
Well, the jab of Pinklon Thomas has not been as effective in the last 2 rounds. And Tim Witherspoon has started to come around with some left hooks that have done some damage.
I like the way that Pinklon Thomas throws that left jab to the body. What he should do when he pop a left jab to the body, come upstairs with the right hand.
There's a little bit, I believe, a trickle of blood over the left eye of Pinklon Thomas. We'll wait till they square around face us to be sure about that.
It takes so much out of you when you miss a big punch thrown like was thrown by Witherspoon.
Coming down toward the end of the 9th round now, and Witherspoon's been very active the last 2. Well, we want to remind you that tonight's presentation of Young Doctors in Love, there's an irony, all across the HBO network will certainly begin immediately following our coverage of World Championship Boxing, and the film, of course, will be seen in its entirety. Young Doctors in Love. Meanwhile, we're watching a couple of surgeons here in Las Vegas.
All right, turn the right hand over every time he shoots the jab to your stomach, because he's bending over like this. Turn it over. All in, huh? Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, son. 9 minutes. That's all we got. Okay, baby? Keep that all hang out.
Yeah, I got it.
Up and down. Deep breath. Get my wrist. Don't worry about your wrist. You got it. You deserve it, champ.
Yeah, go to the left hook. Turn it over with the right hand. Okay. When you go to the body with the left, turn it over.
I thought I heard Thomas complaining about his ribs there in the corner. He's been getting some good body shots. Witherspoon has come on in the last couple of rounds, and it's a question of whether he can keep it up for 3 more rounds. Conditioning and will determine the end of this fight.
Yeah, I thought I heard the same thing, Larry. I thought I heard him say, "What about my ribs?" And we, of course, will get all the answers afterward. When he did get hit downstairs, he backed out of there pretty quickly.
Well, Witherspoon's a great body puncher. And I think if Witherspoon should stay downstairs, maybe he'll see a signal that Thomas is hurt downstairs.
Meanwhile, Thomas, I'm sure, will try to keep the jab in the face of Tim Witherspoon if he is hurt, and just try to keep his man off him. And hope that he's built up enough points over the early rounds. Another observation, too, that Pinklon Thomas is being... Oh, he just threw the right hand there. I was about to say he wasn't throwing the right hand very much, but he came with a couple of pretty good right hands over the top that time.
This would be, outside of marrying his beautiful wife, this would be a great achievement for Pinklon Thomas to win the world title.
Angelo Dundee saying 9 minutes. 9 minutes is all you got to go. And Pinklon Thomas, I'm sure, is counting every tick of that clock at this point.
Well, it's been a very fast a very fast pace. In fact, Angelo said just 9 minutes. It's a long 9 minutes. It's a tough 9 minutes.
Thomas again getting that jab through to the face of Tim Witherspoon. And Witherspoon again backhands him to the stomach.
That left jab has worked all night.
Witherspoon lunges at Thomas and got a pretty good left hand in that backed Thomas against the ropes. Thomas seems to want to fight every time he gets hit.
The right hand is starting to drop again. So the left hook will probably land if Witherspoon get close enough inside.
Good left hook by Witherspoon again.
Fatigue is definitely setting aside of Pinklon Thomas, although he looked very impressive.
That was partially caught on the gloves of Pinklon Thomas.
But he doesn't need to take those kind of unnecessary punches, Barry. He can get outside and use that beautiful left jab that he has.
Thomas opens up and Witherspoon's back to the ropes.
Minutes.
Witherspoon is still coming on. He doesn't seem to have the punch to stop Thomas. He's going to just have to overwhelm him in the last 2 rounds if he wants to win.
You only got 6 minutes. This ain't no 15-round fight. Go ahead. Champ of the world, baby. Spit it out.
Angelo Dundee is going after Thomas like a jockey on a horse coming down the stretch, trying to hold them together.
We only got 6 minutes.
Next round, Angelo say 3 minutes, baby. It's our title.
Now look, let it all hang
down. It's like showing the horse the whip.
You must not
when
back
he tried
up.
to spin you, you did good. Step right in front of him.
Take it up.
Get his legs, get his legs.
Pick him up.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars, perhaps millions of dollars at stake here in the last 2 rounds of a heavyweight championship fight. A good, tough championship fight, one of the better heavyweight fights of the last couple of years, I think.
In fact, the first one that we saw wasn't a bad one either, so we could conceivably have seen 24 pretty good, solid rounds of boxing.
You know what's happening? Witherspoon has given Pinklon Thomas an opportunity to get a breather, and that's exactly what he needs. So Thomas will be content to stay on the outside and throw his jab and catch a breather every now and then.
It does appear that Pinklon Thomas may have an injury, a rib injury of some sort, because he was exhorting his handlers to keep the pressure off by releasing some of the elasticity on the band of his trunks.
His upper body movement, Thomas, he's great. I mean, he gets away from all those punches.
And there's no worse injury, I would think, for any athlete, let alone a boxer, than a rib injury, because it affects your breathing. Thomas is breathing through his mouth a little bit. Witherspoon is busy, but he's not punching.
Well, I tell you one thing. The fact that the way that Witherspoon is fighting now, Pinklon Thomas should be able to land more left jabs, especially against the ropes. I think Witherspoon at this point should be closer to his opponent, inside, and working the body more.
But he's running out of time. This is a 12-round fight, and this is round 11.
Witherspoon is constantly trying to land that left hook. A lot of times he'll wait and take a few shots and then retaliate with his punch. Well, his left hook. Like, just land.
Good solid left hook, and it stunned Pinklon Thomas. And there's that jab again.
It's a thing of beauty, bro. I mean, it's consistent, it's accurate, and it has a lot of power behind it. I think we're looking forward to an upset.
But it's looking more and more like it.
course, I've seen some pretty funny-looking decisions in Las Vegas. I have to say that.
Come on, work it, get out. Work it, get out. Let's go.
Pinklon's really tired. He was about to throw his right hand, and then he changed his mind.
Pinklon Thomas fighting a defensive fight right at the moment.
Witherspoon's tired also.
Witherspoon trying to work downstairs. And if Thomas is bothered by a rib injury, he sure doesn't show it.
I'm sure Angela's going to say, 3 minutes, baby, and you're the champ.
I thought that was a very odd round for Tim Witherspoon. I don't know why he let up. He may have given up the championship in the 11th round.
Last round. Get his legs, Aaron. All right, get his legs. Come on. Put your legs. Come on. Wake up, Tim. Put your legs. Come on. Last round, right, Tim? Come on. It's the last round. Hey, Tim.
Ain't no more. Don't say it. There ain't no more.
Keep your right hand up, Pink. And get under that left hook.
Last round.
Give him a wrench.
You got it. Get all you want, baby.
Come on, hard. Come on. This is it. They're going to send him right out. They're going to send him right out to you. Come on, Kay. Keep your right hand up. Get under them
Keep
shots.
your hands up.
Don't wrap.
Hands up.
Get under them shots.
Beat Pinklon Thomas for me. Will you
Get on him, pull that body.
Come on,
Rip
go.
to the body.
Get out.
Well, the last thing Angelo Dundee said was, beat Pinklon Thomas for me. Means that he's got a tired man. And Witherspoon knows that he pretty much has to go for it all here.
Oh, he's letting it all hang out now. So what Thomas has to do, in fact, Angelo's told him to keep those hands up. Witherspoon's going to be throwing everything.
This is it. This is the final 3 minutes. Thomas in a situation of dance with what brung you. And what has brung him has been a very solid left jab.
The left jab has been the key for Pinklon Thomas throughout the fight.
Crowd has really appreciated this fight, too. And in fact, it's interesting that even if Tim Witherspoon should lose this fight, he probably will have won more friends than he did in beating Greg Page for the title. Good shot to the heart by Pinklon Thomas.
I noticed there that Thomas brought that right hand up and was able to block the left hook thrown by Witherspoon.
Witherspoon is fighting a kind of fight that looks to me like he thinks he's got it won, rather than a guy who thinks he's behind.
Oh, that was beautiful body movement by Pinklon. Now this is where Witherspoon doesn't want to be against Pinklon Thomas. His long arms and strong left jab will start to get through shortly. Watch for the right hand of Pinklon.
Quick right hand lead as Witherspoon leaned in on him. Crowd going into a chant here. Very appreciative crowd with good reason. Very good fight.
It's a very good fight. And a very impressive Pinklon Thomas. You know, it's been a rough life for Tim Witherspoon. He's really trying desperately. And the guy's really giving his all. But I think it's just a little too late.
And the fact is, too, as I said, he probably will have won more friends and maybe a better future, even if he loses this fight. And it ends in a flurry. There was a good right hand by Witherspoon, but a case, I believe, of too little, too late. At the bell, it's over. Each man hand held aloft, thinking he has won the fight. I think Pinklon Thomas has won the fight, but as I said, I've seen some very funny-looking decisions here in Las Vegas, Ray.
Well, I tell you, he was very impressive, very consistent. That left jab proved to be the key punch in the entire fight. Witherspoon had it tough. He was just too tight and just couldn't get his punches off.
So Pinklon Thomas being embraced in his corner. Angelo Dundee, I feel quite sure, thinks that he has another heavyweight champion. He has had two. One of them was named Ali, wasn't a bad fighter. The other one out of Ali's camp, former sparring partner Jimmy Ellis, and here tonight perhaps a third in Pinklon Thomas.
It'd be a great birthday gift for Angelo.
You know, the other thing that strikes me too is every time the mantle passes in the heavyweight division, everybody makes the comparison to Muhammad Ali, and I think in this case there is no comparison, Pinklon Thomas to Muhammad Ali. They're different types of fighters, and maybe finally the comparisons will stop.
Totally different styles, totally different personalities. There's always a different person in the heavyweight division.
And another factor to keep in mind too, because we have come to the way now that we are going to be decided upon it by a decision. Remember the point that was taken away from Tim Witherspoon for backhanding. And that could have a profound effect on the outcome of this fight.
It's a costly point, especially in a fight as close as this one, Brian.
So Tim Witherspoon, who I would have to think, he says, I won it. You just saw him do that. And perhaps he has, but oftentimes you get a very different perspective of just what's going on from where we sit than you do when you're in there. I don't have to tell you that.
Well, a fighter can tell when he's, when he's behind on points, and at the end of the fight, there's a feeling that comes over you that you know that you didn't give it your best, and it's all downhill.
Well, it's very tough to say. Usually they say the challenger has got to bring the fight to the champion, but I think it's fair to say that Pinklon Thomas did in fact bring the fight to Tim Witherspoon tonight.
Well, Pinklon made the fight, and in fact, the left jab worked all night. It was a beautiful, beautiful display of a left jab.
All right, suspense is over. Let's go up to the ring announcer, Chuck Hall, for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a majority decision. Judge Hal Miller scores 114 Witherspoon, 114 Thomas. Judge Qawi Shirley scores 115, 112. And Judge Twain Ford scores 116, 112 for the winner by majority decision and new WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Pinklon Thomas.
Well, we have a new champion. It simply could not have been any closer. I'm not sure I saw quite as close a fight as the judges did, but as I said, I've seen some strange things go on here. And what a long road it has been for Pinklon Thomas. Drug addiction, was a great athlete as a kid, turned to drugs, kicked the drugs, started fighting rather late in life. Credits his wife Kathy with being a big part of the success that has culminated with a victory in a championship in the heavyweight division tonight.
Draw. The champion was making his 9th title defense, was 31-2-2. He captured the title in 1979 by scoring an 8th round TKO of Marvin Johnson. In his previous 8 title defenses, 7 victories came by knockout. Braxton's boxing career started while he was an inmate. As Sal Marciano explains in this Vintage Sports Center report from 1982, the challenger's experiences in the ring changed his life.
While serving time at Rahway State Prison in New Jersey, Braxton turned to boxing. And when he finished his jail term, he went into pro boxing without any amateur experience. Dwight, if you could write the script right now, how would you write it for yourself the remainder of your boxing career and your life, too?
Well, it's not how much I'm going to write. It's somehow I'm almost sure that fate and destiny has it for me to be. Boxing to me was my C plan in life. You know, I had A, B, and C plan. That was a C plan. But now I'm into it. It's become an A plan for now. You know, and I have other things I would like to do. But right now, I'm a fighter.
In 1982, Braxton changed his name to Dwight Muhammad Qawi. Coming up later, Al Bernstein shares his thoughts on both fighters in his continuing series, Bernstein on Boxing. We now present the 1981 WBC Light Heavyweight Championship fight between Matthew Saad Muhammad and Dwight Braxton on ESPN Classic.
Welcome to Atlantic City for the 1981 WBC Light Heavyweight title bout between the champion Matthew Saad Muhammad and the challenger Dwight Braxton here on ESPN Classic.
Introducing the principals. In the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with the black trim and the black lettering, he is weighing in at 174 3/4 pounds. From Camden, New Jersey, the challenger, the Camden Buzzsaw, Dwight Braxton. And his opponent in the red corner, wearing the black trunks with the gold trim and the gold lettering, he is tipping the scales at 174 1/2 pounds. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the World Boxing Council light heavyweight champion, Matthew Saad Muhammad.
All right, we're about ready for the action. It's a 20-by-20 ring, 10-point must scoring system, 3 knockdown rule. Wave the tail of the tape being set before you. Again, Saad Muhammad had to take off 3 pounds this morning. That shows you the height differential and the reach edge that I've already referred to, but Braxton has a way of diminishing that edge. This one could be a war. It figures to be a tough fight. And Saad Muhammad's stamina, perhaps a key question. Arthur McCanny, the third man in the ring, the best there is in all the world at what he does. And the knockdown timer, the alternate referee, Tony Perez, himself a distinguished third man in the ring. The bell for the start of round 1. Watch to see if Saad Muhammad keeps trying to work that jab to box the opponent, and thus, in a sense, change his style. Try to keep Braxton off. Seconds into the fight, Saad Muhammad is at the moment wary, trying to use that left. We are using a new camera above ringside, just above it at ringside, and it operates by remote control, a development of the ABC engineering department. It was first used by us in the Holmes-Leon Spinks fight. The Holmes-Snipes fight, I should have said.
Control it! Control it, Control it!
Obvious strategy by Saad Muhammad in this first round. Keep Dwight Braxton off him using the left jab, boxing. Wild amateurish lunge by Braxton. Trying to get in to fight his fight the way he did against Rossman and against Scott. 30 seconds to go. Round 1, counting down as you can see.
30 seconds! Bring it up! Bring it up! It's got the score! 15 seconds. Bring it up when you get inside. Bring it up.
End of the round to here. Clean round, Sam Solomon, trainer in Saad Muhammad's corner. You did exactly right. Keep that left hand in his face. Don't let him get inside of it. Strategy, ring tactics, So far, at least in planning, being established in the first round. But Braxton will keep coming, or trying to. Bilal Muhammad is the manager. Saad Muhammad, Wenzel McCall and Wesley Muzan are the co-managers of Braxton.
That's right, champ. Man now. Control. Control. Top, champ. Control. Over champ. Control.
Doubled up quickly on the left, Braxton did. Saad Muhammad's left hand held at his side, leaving him perhaps susceptible to the right. See where the left is? Just heard from the corner, perhaps, in the background. You've got your left hand too low, and Sam Solomon is right. More than halfway through the second round. Good right by Saad Muhammad. Another good right. And the left one in there. He's fighting cleverly. Braxton not able to get to him. Using the left there. Doubling with it. And saving the right for whatever. Another good right. He's fighting his way. And he may have hurt Braxton. No, Braxton grins and leers, saying, I'm not hurt. Forget it. It's the one possible. Oh, a good right by Braxton hurt Saad Muhammad. You saw it. He kept that left hand low once too often. And now Braxton is getting to him. And this is in the more familiar pattern of Braxton fights. Suddenly it happened with 40 seconds left in the round. The right that stunned Saad Muhammad. 10 seconds left in the second round. As suddenly the action grew. And he's gotten in 3 good rights and 1 good left, Braxton has. And he's pouring the blows on Saad Muhammad. And
tomorrow on ESPN at 7.
Sport. Dwight Braxton's career got off to a slow start, managing only 1 win in his first 3 fights. But after 14 consecutive victories, he earned a shot at the title. The success of Braxton, or as he was later known as Dwight Muhammad Qawi, caught the boxing community off guard, as Al Bernstein explains in his continuing series, Bernstein Unboxing.
Perhaps the biggest surprise in boxing during the 1980s was Dwight Muhammad Qawi, who seemed to come from nowhere to become both the light heavyweight and cruiserweight champion. After an inauspicious start of 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 draw in his pro career, Qawi never looked back. His big break came in a 1980 tournament on the then fledgling ESPN boxing series. He was not even the favorite going into the tourney, but he crushed 3 straight opponents and won a top 10 ranking. In the next 2 years, he would beat top light heavyweights like James Scott, John Davis, and Mike Rossman, and then win the light heavyweight title. His nickname, the Camden Buzzsaw, was as apt as any in boxing. He was the aggressor throughout any fight he ever had. One opponent said the 5'6" Qawi is like a human bowling ball that keeps rolling at you. Well, along the way in his career, he embraced the Muslim religion and changed his name from Dwight Braxton to Dwight Muhammad Qawi. But the style of fighting and effectiveness never did change. He conquered the cruiserweight division as well, all except 1 cruiserweight, Evander Holyfield. But his close 15-round decision loss to Holyfield in 1986 remains one of the best fights of the 1980s and surely the best cruiserweight fight of all time. For ESPN Classic, I'm Al Bernstein.
One of the biggest fights of his career came in 1983 when he took on WBA champion Michael Spinks. Later, he'll share his thoughts on that classic matchup. But now let's return to Braxton and Matthew Saad Muhammad from 1981 on ESPN Classic.
The bell for round 3, and as I said, this one could be a war. Smiling and leering, Braxton waiting for the opportunity, quickly trying to double on the left. It suddenly became a war, when Saad Muhammad continued to make the mistake of keeping that left hand at his side in the manner of Thomas Hearns. And Hearns paid for that against Sugar Ray Leonard. Yeah, 30 seconds into the third round. Still fighting according to battle plan is Saad Muhammad. Boxing, trying to conserve himself. But once he was stunned by that initial right, he found himself wide open for a succession of blows, and he was hurt. But he has those remarkable recuperative powers. A warning about a low blow from Arthur McCanney, the referee, to Dwight Braxton. Now he's keeping his hands up, Saad Muhammad is. Working the left. Boxing Braxton. Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, a close friend of Saad Muhammad's, a past light heavyweight champion himself, in Saad Muhammad's corner, imploring him to keep his hands up. Braxton getting in the left, not once but twice, and then a third and fourth time. But Braxton, his head snapped back by a sharp Saad Muhammad left. Less than a minute to go in the third round. In this round, Braxton not able to get, although he's trying here to get to Saad Muhammad, and he snaps Saad's head back with a left. It's hard to fight off when he gets inside like that, Mr. Braxton is. Saad Muhammad staying in ring center. A good right to the kidney area. We'd like to alert our local stations along the line that at the end of this round, we will take a station break. We'll be back with more of the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship fight. This from our local stations. Round 4 is underway here in Atlantic City. WBC Light Heavyweight Championship at stake. Matthew Saad Muhammad, his 9th defense to the right of your screen. Dwight Braxton, the challenger, number 5 rated contender, now to the right. Trying to move inside and getting there more frequently as the third round terminated. And remember the way he came on as the second round was in its final moment. Good blows by Braxton on the inside, hurting Saad Muhammad. That's the way Braxton likes it. Get that head on the other man's shoulder and pummel away with those snapping blows that take so much of your stamina away and hurt so much. He's got a body carved in concrete, Braxton does. Against the ropes, he continues his attack. Saad Muhammad getting the punishment. But we've seen this pattern so many times before. When will it be once too many? Uppercuts snapping Saad Muhammad's head, as you saw. Good right lead by Saad Muhammad, then a left. But Braxton's doing the damage in this round. Now Saad Muhammad trying to come to life. Blood coming out of Saad Muhammad's nose, all over his upper lip. Yes, it is a war. Less than a minute to go in the fourth round. Look at Braxton laying it on Saad Muhammad. Braxton is the one pinioned in the corner, but the one doing the punching. Saad Muhammad trying to come to life, and did with a good right. But Braxton is having a tremendous round. Look at the blood coming out of Saad Muhammad's nose. Now Braxton going down to the midsection just momentarily. Once he's positioned inside, he uses the uppercut effectively, as you have seen. That's the end of round 4, and we'll go to Saad Muhammad's corner. Wiping out off the blood immediately, coming out of the nose. Braxton's infighting, a terrific early 4th round attack. Watch. Right and the left. Another right. Then pinioned in that corner. It was Braxton who threw the furious blows with Saad Muhammad's face and head. The target. Saad Muhammad being spoken to in his corner. Sam Solomon, Adolf Rataka, Salim El Amin. Those are the men in Saad Muhammad's corner. There's Braxton. And the bell for round 5. That's what's at stake. You saw what Mercani said. They can boo him, but they don't know what they're booing about. Arthur Mercani keeps better position and control of a fight than any referee within my memory. And I'm in this business 30 years and more. 45 seconds into the 5th round. Saad Muhammad trying to answer back, trying to recapture the control of the fight that he showed in the 1st round when he used his left so effectively. Braxton will have none of it. Working more often where he can to the midsection. One must wonder if this time Saad Muhammad will not have the recuperative powers of the past. Look at that right lead. Muhammad holding his left low again. Braxton hurt him. Less than a minute left in this, the 5th round. The blood flow has not been reopened by Braxton from Saad Muhammad's nose. Mustafa Muhammad imploring Saad to keep those hands up, meaning specifically the left. Half-minute left. Approaching the end of an action-packed 5th round and an action-packed fight. Round 6, Matthew Saad Muhammad against Dwight Braxton, and the two have really been going at it. WBC light heavyweight crown at stake. Braxton is proving himself a worthy contender.
Watch him, champ. Keep your mind on him. Get down, champ. Don't put him over, champ.
Staying the aggressor.
Use that jab, champ. Come on, use it. You got it, champ. You got it.
Good right again by Braxton. The most telling blow of the round. And that opens Saad Muhammad up to another onslaught by Braxton. See it there in the infighting. And again. That's the familiar Braxton position. Head on the opponent's shoulder. A minute to go in the 6th round.
Both hands, champ. Back it out of there. Both hands, use that jab, champ. Come on. Both hands. Come on, man. Get up. Both hands. Right hand on top.
You saw that left spin Saad Muhammad's head back. Right that missed by Braxton, a left that connected, and Saad Muhammad trying to continue with boxing basics using the left jab to keep Braxton at bay, but not succeeding as he did at the very start of the fight. First to the belly, then to the head, and more blood from the nose, and Braxton all over Saad Muhammad. The end of the round. Now we'll stay here live in Atlantic City, New Jersey. There's the blood being wiped away again from Saad Muhammad's nose.
What are you waiting for? When are you going to get him?
Sam Solomon talking to Saad Muhammad. When are you going to get him? Bilal Muhammad, the manager, coming over to look at my scoring, which is strictly subjective, of course, as you're looking again at Braxton giving it to Saad Muhammad. I have Braxton slightly ahead at this point. But when one scores cards, and you saw that grinning leer, Braxton as he left Saad Muhammad in ring center at the end of the round. And you can see the confidence in Braxton's face. The Camden buzzsaw, they call him, because he so often fights. All 5 feet 6.5 inches of him from a crouch, and presents often a difficult target. Those of you who follow boxing, the terrible punishment Saad Muhammad took from Yaki Lopez. But then he KO'd Lopez in the 14th, knocking him down 4 times. Good right by Braxton, and that fatal deficiency. There's a left, keeping that left too low.
Double that jab up, champ. Get out, get out, hands up, get out.
Minute into round 7. take breathing easy. Left eye of Braxton is puffing considerably from that left jab of Saad Muhammad's. Seconds left in round 7. The action speaking for itself. You saw that uppercut shoot Saad Muhammad's head up, and another one. Once Braxton is inside of you, and again a quick snapping right.
Get out the road. Come on, get out.
That's when Braxton can chew you up. Working the right uppercut there as much as he could. And the left. And we are approaching the end of the 7th round of this WBC light heavyweight title fight.
5 knockout wins. Despite those impressive credentials, Braxton had little respect for Spinks, as he explains to Frank Payne in his Vintage Sports Center report from 1983.
Known as the Camden, New Jersey buzzsaw, Braxton is only 5'6½", 8 inches shorter than Michael Spinks. But Braxton says that's no big disadvantage.
Well, no more than an elephant, you know, against a pygmy. A pygmy got a spear in his hand, he throw it and hit the elephant fall out. But I wouldn't say I'm that short. But I am short in comparison to Michael. But most of my opponents have been tall. And seem like I'm more comfortable when they tall.
Braxton's fight record is 19-1-1, including wins in his last 18 fights. Ask him his condition for the title fight against Spinks, and he'll tell you superb. Ask him what he thinks of Spinks, and he'll tell you primitive.
Michael, he punches very hard, but again, he's no Mack truck. You know, I'm the only one who will be doing the rolling. And the only rolling he'll be doing is on the floor. And he is primitive in his style of fighting. Maybe his way of life, I don't know. But me, I'm scientific. I'm the moderate man. The moderate man versus primitive man. That's how you sum this up.
Spinks unified the title with a 15-round decision over Braxton. Coming up, Al Bernstein will have more on Matthew Saad Muhammad. But now let's continue with more of Saad Muhammad versus Dwight Braxton on ESPN Classic.
All right, let's look at that left. That hurt Saad Muhammad. There it was. Sam Solomon as we begin round 8. Just saying to Saad Muhammad, you're blowing the title, man. Yes, it is round 8. And Braxton has been all over Saad Muhammad for the last 4 rounds. Will the stamina be there throughout this fight? Will Saad Muhammad be able to come back? Has the weight loss affected that stamina? There is no movement, as you can see, in Saad Muhammad. He is essentially flat-footed. A minute and 10 seconds into round 8. And for the 5th straight round, the pattern has been unchanging. It has been Braxton all over the champion. Uppercut. Right leads over a low left hand. Left hand getting in there occasionally and hurting the champion. Right there, for instance, and there. No movement from Saad Muhammad. Outbox a man, you basically got to have movement. There's that right lead. Blood again pouring out of Saad Muhammad's nose. Braxton knows what his opportunity is here now. In the short uppercuts. Incessant blows by Dwight Braxton. The leather keeps coming. 25 seconds and counting down, as you can see. Round 8.
ESPN Classic Remember.
Rising like most aspiring young fighters in the 70s, Matthew Saad Muhammad found his inspiration in the larger-than-life figure that dominated the boxing scene for nearly 2 decades. With more on Saad Muhammad, here's Al Bernstein with his continuing series, Bernstein on Boxing.
The word warrior is often overused in the sport of boxing, but rest assured, it can be used in connection with former light heavyweight champion Matthew Saad Muhammad. With an iron will forged from a childhood in which he needed one, Muhammad rose to the top in boxing while fighting in a light heavyweight division that might have been the best it has ever been. Orphaned as a child, he and his brother had a nomadic childhood that included shelters and reform schools in Philadelphia. Through it all, Matthew kept his resolve, and when he saw Muhammad Ali sparring in a Philadelphia gym, he knew boxing was his calling. And he attacked the sport with a fervor and a zeal that made him one of the most admired fighters of his era. He won the title in one of the greatest light heavyweight matches ever held. Muhammad and then champ Marvin Johnson engaged in a bloody and exciting battle, with the fight on the verge of being stopped in Johnson's favor because of cuts over both of Matthew's eyes. Over the next 2.5 years, he would defend the title 8 times, all in exciting fights. Muhammad fought at a time when all of the top light heavyweights were not just good, but excellent. And he fought virtually all of them before or after he won the title. People like Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, Yaki Lopez, John Conte, Dwight Braxton, and Johnson all made up an impressive list of the era's best light heavyweights, and he had 2 wars each with Johnson and Lopez. From the mid-70s through the early 80s, the light heavyweight division was magnificent, and Matthew Saad Muhammad played a major role in making it so. For that, he's in the Boxing Hall of Fame, and for that, he will always be remembered as a talented and gallant warrior. For ESPN Classic, I'm Al Bernstein.
Saad Muhammad's career came to an inglorious conclusion, having dropped 12 of his last 21 fights. When we return, it's back to the 1981 WBC light heavyweight title fight between Matthew Saad Muhammad and Dwight Braxton on ESPN Classic.
We are back live in Atlantic City, round 9, and Bilal Muhammad, the manager of Matthew Saad Muhammad, is shaking his head. He too is concerned that this time his fighter will not have the resiliency of the past. There doesn't seem to be any snap, any spark. Braxton's tactics are unwavering. Left doubled up on Saad Muhammad's face. Already the blood from Muhammad's nose. Minute into the 9th round. We'd like to alert our local stations along the line that at the end of this round we'll take a station break. And there is Braxton at it again. Blood all over the desk in front of quarter. Corner employs Saad Muhammad. Get off, get off. But that left jab amounts to a paw now. Terms of punishment registered. Arthur McCanny has no voice in the scoring, only the judges. But he has a marvelous method for scoring a fight. He breaks a round down into 3 separate minutes. And I'd like to see how he would be scoring this fight. Saw those 2 lefts. Is having more target practice now. For a while, the left pawing held him at bay. Now, inside, look at that. And we will be back with more of the WBC World Light Heavyweight Championship fight after this word from our local stations as we await the wind-up of the 9th round.
Matt, you're losing this fight. You're 4 rounds down. You gotta pull out these rounds. You've got to pull these rounds out. Man, you got to pull this out.
You got to punch with him. Punch with him.
All right. Round 10 underway, but first some of the punishment Saad Muhammad took in the last round. Here in round 10, Bilal Muhammad, Saad Muhammad's manager, told him between rounds, champ, you're at least 4 rounds behind. You've got to fight with him. You're losing this fight. It's almost over.
Get up! Get up! Get up! Get off the floor! Get off! Get off of that!
You stay on the ropes that way. You let Braxton lay his head upon your shoulder, and you're asking for it.
Get your foot right! Get your
There is no foot movement in Saad Muhammad. No sign of a late comeback yet. Loving blows by Braxton. Blood again from Saad Muhammad's nostrils. And a constant flow from the 4th round on. The chants of the crowd speak for themselves. Two stunning lefts by Braxton, and a third as Saad Muhammad was attempting to keep him away with repeated jabs. But the punishing blows by Braxton. A minute, 2 minutes and 5 seconds into the 10th round.
Get off the rope! Get off the rope!
Saad Muhammad's corner imploring him to get off the ropes, and now Saad Muhammad trying to rally back. But Braxton quickly, first to the midriff and then up with those same short, snapping blows. And he is in deep trouble, and he goes down. The fight continues. Remember, the 3 knockdown rule is waived. There is nothing but blood now on Saad Muhammad's upper lip. This time, he appears ready to lose his title. They're going in. They're trying to stop the fight. That's it. Arthur McCanny stops it. The corner went in to to try to protect Matthew Saad Muhammad. There was no resiliency, no recuperativeness. Not today. Dwight Braxton, a tough cookie, 5 feet 6.5 inches tall, with a reach of only 71 inches. 28 years of age, is the new WBC World Light Heavyweight Champion. From Camden, New Jersey, the Camden Buzzsaw. You heard him say in the pre-fight interview, the man has a perfect style for me. Well, he apparently was right. Let's look at the knockdown again. But we will always have to conjecture with the notion that that last-minute weight loss also had something to do with it, taking no credit away from Dwight Braxton. And then the mysterious question, how could he have been over? Were the scales wrong the way he told us in the pre-fight interview? But that was the knockdown, and as quickly as possible, we will get Dwight Braxton to our position at ringside. Right here is where the fight was stopped. A continuous pummeling, incessant blows from the 4th round on. Arthur McCanny stopping it, even before, as you see, the corner man trying to get to his fighter to protect him from further damage. Yes, that man is the WBC light heavyweight champion of the world. Next question. When will there be a unification match between him and Michael Spinks, the Olympic gold medal winner, middleweight classification, who is at ringside here tonight and who's standing now right at ringside telling everybody who will listen that he is the true champion. And the happy new champion, Dwight Braxton, you said he had the perfect style for you, and I think you proved it.
Ray, I knew it was going to be a hard fight. I knew he would hit me. I knew it. I know he'd take a lot of punishment. Look at the blood on you. You know what I mean? But the man is good. He's a great champion. I knew what I was in for, but I came ready. I'm the Camden Buzzsaw. Look at this. Right on my road.
The Camden Buzzsaw. All right, very quickly. You really took over. In the first round, he troubled you with the jab. Troubled you again in the third. But from the 4th round on, you took over that fight, my friend.
He was jabbing. He got a hard jab. He kept me at bay. And I knew I had to take something to get some. I knew what type of fight he was. He wasn't backing up. I had to keep my eyes on him all the time and pick my shot. I wasn't going to waste myself. I was going to be there for 15 rounds. For 20 if I had. I wanted this.
And you were.
I thank Allah. I thank Allah. I fear nothing but Allah. Remember that. That's my success.
Let's look at that knockdown just before the end here.
Look, I know he was taking shots. But I knew he wouldn't take the shot. I was sharp. I kept my eyes on him. Oh, that's a knockout. But
that was the knockout.
Through the whole fight, he gave it to me and I took it. I kept my eyes on him. Look at it. So I know he was only human. I'm glad he stopped it because he would have been hurt real bad. I've seen him go a couple times, but he just got stamina.
My friend, you've come a long way and you've made a whole new life for yourself.
Thank Allah. All praise
again.
to Allah. I thank all my fear nothing but Allah. Allah the nurse and sustain.
Congratulations to you. And so, Dwight Braxton is the new WBC light heavyweight champion of the world. You can understand his jubilation.
Gleason, and welcome as ESPN Classic presents the heavyweight match between former champion Joe Frazier and Joe Bugner from July of 1973. Heading into this bout, Frazier was looking for a measure of redemption. After 29 victories and 4 successful title defenses, Frazier had suffered his first professional loss 6 months earlier. Kingston, Jamaica, Frazier surrendered the heavyweight title to 24-year-old George Foreman, who dished out the worst beating of the champion's career. The fight was stopped in the 2nd round after Frazier hit the canvas for the 6th time. As for Bugner, he was facing his 2nd stiff challenge in a row. 5 months earlier, he lost a 12-round decision to Muhammad Ali. Coming up later, Frazier reminisces about his humble beginnings. But now we present the 1973 heavyweight fight between Joe Frazier and Joe Bugner on ESPN Classic.
Today, from London, England, the heavyweight contest between Joe Frazier and Joe Bugner. There's Gibbs bringing the two out to the middle of the ring.
Frazier with that always stern expression, never taking his eyes off his opponent. And we are ready to go. There are some rule changes to keep in mind. There is no mandatory 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Must 5-point scoring system. We'll see what kind of a first round Frazier has. He was hurt down in Kingston, Jamaica by Foreman right away. Bugner is more of a defensive specialist. Frazier's got to keep on the pressure right away. We'll see if he slows up a little bit and changes his tactics. He does not. He is forcing the fight right away, but it is Bugner who is scoring. Bugner has a fine left jab, and he hurt Frazier a little bit with it right there, too. He will flick it out. Keep your eye on Bugner's left hand. It is going to be his most important defensive weapon to keep Frazier away from him. Foreman, of course, was able to shove him back off when he tried to apply that pressure. Joe Frazier, one of the most relentless heavyweight champions we have ever had. And here in the first round, he is trying to apply it right away to Bugner. But it is Bugner who is finding the target very easy to hit, just as George Foreman did. That duck-down style of Frazier, trying to get inside. Bugner waiting for the target to move in. Early here in the first round.
Bugner starting very confidently indeed. That little flurry of lefts and rights. Never seen him start a fight as well as that. Very confident.
He has seen the films of the Foreman fight. He knows this man is easy to hit. Frazier, on the other hand, was convinced not only you sitting in the living room, but more importantly himself, that he has not lost it all. There are those who say that he was badly hurt in that fight against Muhammad Ali in Madison Square Garden. And if he was, what an ironic thing that fight may have ruined both fighters, because Ali has not certainly been the same devastating force that he was that night either. One of the great fights of all time. And here it is Frazier wearing the bright pink trunks, Joe Bugner in the white with the blue trim. His country's flag down there on the left side, and his countrymen are cheering him on here in Earl's Court, very pleased. Frazier did get inside a little bit. Bugner wants to slow up the action a little bit. That may have been one of the most effective lefts that Frazier has thrown in on Bugner's chin. Joe Frazier looking very clear-eyed. Bugner was scoring, but apparently was not hurting him. Frazier is a man who can take all kinds of punishment, as he has demonstrated time and time again. Well, every time, except for that one night against Foreman. Look at that exchange. 2 heavyweights going toe-to-toe here.
Now, Bugner's got to get off the ropes, which he does. Harry Gibbs, the referee, very strong. Handles the fight well.
20-foot square ring. Perhaps a little bigger than you might expect Frazier would like. He might prefer an 18, but no, he asked for the 20-foot ring. So Bugner will need all of those 20 feet to try and escape from the trouble that he's in over there on that ring. He must stay off of the ropes and away from this relentless pressure, because Frazier will keep it up as Bugner comes in with a good left hand. There is that jab, just flicking it out. 23 years old, Bugner. He has already had 50 fights as the first round comes to an end here. Crowd roaring its approval, Adrian, because we got a very good start out of Joe Bugner.
Former champion Joe Frazier on the comeback trail in 1973 as he faces Joe Bugner on ESPN Classic.
And now we start round 2. Joe Bugner with a very surprisingly strong performance in that first round against former champion Joe Frazier. And again it is Frazier trying to get his head in on that chest, trying to go to work with that left hand. Bugner keeping it away very well, tagging him with a couple of solid blows there to that very vulnerable chin. Bugner was cut by Muhammad Ali in the first round of that fight in Las Vegas, and then he hung on for 11 rounds.
In the clinches there, Frazier grinning. Bit of psychology. He's looking quite confident. It should suit Frazier, this kind of a bustling, fast fight. Bugner's got to jab him away and work him over from a distance. Getting involved close up too like this can't do him much good.
And again it is Frazier pursuing his prey from one end of that ring to the other. And in return, taking a great deal of punishment as that pressure must come. He has given away 8 inches in reach here to Joe Bugner. He has also given away 13 pounds in weight. Joe Frazier came to London with quite a thick beard. He has had to trim it down. The officials warned him. They didn't want him sticking his head in there in Bugner's chest
and then perhaps irritating it by rubbing that chin up and down with the whiskers on it. So you are seeing a freshly trimmed Joe Frazier. And he is definitely trying to get inside, being a little bit more successful here in the second round. It may not look like much, but that is grueling punishment that Bugner takes there on the inside. That vital left hook that Frazier must have operating. Bugner putting up a fantastic defense so far against Frazier. Much stronger than Frazier anticipated.
Yeah, looks to me as if Frazier, after nearly 6 months out of the ring, needed that first round just to shake himself loose a little. He's looking a lot more confident now. He's moving better, and you know, he's grinning, which is always a bad sign for his opponents.
See the expression on Frazier's face. Now it is one of confidence. He has lasted that first round. So vital, since he was knocked down 6 times in his last fight, but Bugner got him in trouble over there. Frazier got himself stuck on the ropes, and Bugner applies some pressure. Bugner is not noted for his punch, however. There are those who say that he has one of the weakest punches of any of the contenders in the heavyweight division. And there was a time